want me to do the cheer video, or are we ready to do senior?
Yeah, the dancing cat video, the kids dancing cat video. All right.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, your 2022 Warren G. Harding Raider cheerleaders. And now, let's meet our Raider cheerleading senior class of 2023. Amaria Bercini. Imari Edmonds. Ashley Ellison. Kerrigan Riley. Sydney Strother. Once again, let's hear it for your 2022 Warren G. Harding Raider cheerleaders. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please direct your attention to our home sidelines as the Warren City Schools Board of Education and Warren G. Harding High School presents the celebration ceremony of the marching band, cheerleader, and football senior class of 2023.
Tonight, the Warren G. Harding Raider Band Senior Class of 2023 will start our senior recognition night. Senior year marks what is usually the 8th year of participating in the band program. These students have spent many hours practicing and preparing to help make the Raider Band the best it can be. Our first senior, Kaylee Abel, who is a majorette with our band and has been with the band for 4 years. She plans to attend Kent State University. She is undecided and will be minoring in dance. With her is her mom, Carrie Abel, dad, Patrick Abel, grandparents, Ron and Mary Campbell, grandparents, Tom and Donna Abel, and her brother, Justin Abel. Next, Emma Adams. She plays clarinet in our band and has been in the band for 4 years. She plans to attend the University of Pittsburgh, majoring in culinary arts. With her is her mother, Heather Adams, and her father, Eric Adams. Up next, Liliana Bay. She's involved in our drum line. She plans to attend college, and at this time, she is undecided. She is led with the field with her father, Ronald Bays, mother, Laura Bays, and sister, Brielle Bays. Up next, Brooklyn Brown. A member of our trumpet section, she has been with the band for 4 years. She plans to attend Kent State University, majoring in early childhood education. She is led on the field by her father, Chris Brown, her grandma, May Stark, cousin Amanda Stark, and her mother in spirit, Kelly Brown. Up next, Abigail Bungard. She is a member of our trumpet section and has been in the band for 4 years. She plans to attend college and major in radiology and sonography. She is led across the field by her father, Jeremy Bungard, grandmother, Meredith Bungard, and her 2 sisters, Casey and Delaney Bungard. Next, Field Commander Olivia Dunn. She has been with the band for 4 years. She will be attending the University of North Carolina, Wilmington, majoring in film studies, led across the field by her father and mother, Jesse and Rachel Dunn. Next is Amari Edmonds. A majorette with the band, she has been with us for 4 years. She plans to attend college and major in biology with a concentration in pre-med. She has walked across the field by her mother, Yolanda Edmonds, her sister, Essence Edmonds, her uncle, Damon Dupree, and her father, Wilson Marguera. Up next, Nijay Glover, a member of our mellophone section. He's been with the band for 4 years. He plans to attend YSU, majoring in mechanical engineering. He's on the field with his mother, Alexis Jackson, and his father, Dante Glover. Next, Senior Cadence Hope, a member of our trombone section, has been with the band for 4 years. She plans to attend college and major in criminal justice. She's walked across the field by her mom, Katie, her father, Josh, her sister, Lynn, and her brother, Jasper. Next, Lacey Kinter, a member of our flute section and has been with the band for 4 years. She plans to attend college, majoring in child psychology. She's led across the field by her brother Chase Kinter, her mom Ashley, and her dad Peter. Next, Haley Kozak, a member of our clarinet section for 4 years. She plans to attend Youngstown State University and major in nursing. She's led across the field by her grandmother, Mary Piper, grandfather, Thomas Piper, brother Dylan Kozak, uncle Kyle Piper, aunt Kayla Pibb, and cousin Zoe Piper. Next, Haley Meisel, a member of our mellophone section, has been with the band for 3 years. She's undecided on college at this time and is led across the field by her mother, Jennifer Meisel, and her father, Jim Meisel. Next, Ethan O'Malley, a member of our trombone section for the past 4 years. He plans to attend college and major in business. He's walked across the field by his mom, Nicole, his father, Danny Lopez, his brother, Jace Lopez, and his sister, Gia Lopez. Next, Carolyn Parker, a member of our flute section, and has been with the band for 4 years. Plans to attend Ross School and majoring in medical billing and reading. She's led across the field by her mother, Tara Cromartie, sister Mia Kuhn, and cousin Jeremiah Brown. Donovan Price, a member of our saxophone section, has been in the band for 4 years. He plans to become a carpenter and is walked across the field by his mother, Amy Price. Next, Marina Ramsey, field commander, has been with the band for 4 years. Plans to attend YSU and major in early childhood education. She's walked around the field by her mother, Ramona Ramsey, sister Elise, and sister Crystal. Luke Rose, tuba player for 4 years with our band, attending Miami University, majoring in neuroscience. Walking across the field, Frank Rose, Tracy Savoth, and Tim Savoth's stepfather. Logan Stander, a member of our tuba section for 4 years, is attending Kent State University and majoring in nursing. He's walked across the field by his father, mother, and sister, Brian, Tara, and Madeline. John Waldman, tuba player, has been with the band for 4 years. Plans to attend college at YSU, majoring in music education. He's walked across the field by his father, Jim Waldman, mother, Barb Waldman, and grandmother, Lila Lewis. Gabriella Welker, tuba for 1 year, trombone for 3, a member for 4, attending the University of Cincinnati, majoring in aerospace engineering. She has walked across the field by her mom, Susan, her father, Donald, stepmom, Megan, and sister, Becca Welker. Sierra Williams, baritone, for 4 years with the band. She is majoring in criminal justice at Youngstown State University. She's walked across the field by her mother, Krista Baker, and her father, Chris Williams. Lashea Williams, flute section, 4 years in the band, going to college out of state to be a veterinarian. She's walked across the field by her mother, Gail Levine, father, Jerry Williams, brother, Isaiah Williams, and cousin, Deasia White. Zion Williams, flute section, for 4 years with the band, undecided at this time, majoring in marine biology. She's walked across the field by her mother, Latare Gallaty, O'Brien Gallaty dad, O'Brien Gallaty Jr. brother, and Vendetta Butler aunt. Madeline Zaccaro, trumpet section, 4 years in the band. Plans to attend the University of Pittsburgh in biological sciences. Walked by her father, Michael Zaccaro. And finally, recognizing a member of the senior class that isn't able to join us tonight. Instead, several of his family are here to represent and show our support for his return to Harding. Vidal Brown, mellophone, 4 years in the band. Plans to attend college, majoring in music education. On the field are his mother, Vashti McCullough, Lachey Brown, Dynasty Brown, Royalty Brown, and her grandma, Teresa McCullough. Ladies and gentlemen, the band's senior class of Warren G. Harding High School.
And now, the Warren G. Harding Raider cheerleading senior class of 2023, Amaria Bercini. She is a 4-year WGH cheerleader, escorted by her mother, Marla Bowers, father, Gary Bercini Jr., grandfather, Gary Bercini Sr., stepfather, Andre Bowers, and sister, Garyana Bercini. Ashley Ellison. She is a 4-year WGH cheerleader, escorted by her mother, Felicia Ellison, and sisters, Imani Ellison Lyons and Damaria Ware. Kerrigan Riley. She is a 4-year WGH cheerleader, escorted by her mother, Leslie Riley, father, Rick Riley, and sisters, Delaney Riley and Natalie Lenny. Sydney Strother. She is a 4-year WGH cheerleader, escorted by her mother, Monica Freeman, father, William Strother, brother, Brendan Freeman, and stepmother, Mercedes Blue. Thank you, cheerleaders, for your years of commitment to the Raider cheerleading team. And fans, let's hear it one more time for your WGH cheerleading senior class of 2023. And now, the Warren G. Harding Raider football senior class of 2023. Number 4, Chris Provitz. Escorted by his mother, Shanika Rogers, and grandmother, Teresa Johnson. Number 6, Devin Boss. Escorted by his mother, Deborah Anthony, family friend, Franchetta Smith, brothers, Tamarion Smith, Khalil Williams, and father, Devin Boss Sr. Number 7, Jaden Hudson. Escorted by his mother, Olivia Hudson, sister, Jordan Hudson, and A. Marie Jupuncha. Number 10, Dallas Jett. Is being escorted by his mother, Michelle Walker, father, Derek Jett, stepfather, George Walker, and brother, Vaughn Holland. Number 15, Robert Williams. Escorted by his mother, Keitha Harvey, grandmother, Cynthia Kaysen, uncle, Kevin Code, and cousin, Alicia Williams. Number 23, Jacob Lawrence. Escorted by his son, Braden Lawrence, and brothers, Aaron and Christian Lawrence. Number 61, Tamari Jackson. Escorted by his mother, Carolyn Mead, father, Terry Jackson, and brothers, Travion Jackson and Tiandre Johnson. Number 67, Caden Murphy. Escorted by mother, Nicole Murphy, father, Adam Murphy, and brother, Noah Murphy. Number 75, John Caldwell. Is being escorted by mother, Michelle Caldwell, father, John Caldwell, and sister, Naomi Caldwell. Number 78, Devin Byer. Is being escorted by mother, Tanya Naylor, father, Steve Byer, and brothers, Austin and Nathan Byer. Thank you, seniors, for your commitment to the Raider football program, and we wish you great success in your years to come. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for your marching band, cheerleader, and football senior class of 2023.
would you please rise for the playing of our school alma mater, the Gold and White.
I think the camera's here.
Tonight, the Warren G. Harding Band welcomes 8th grade band members from Jefferson, Lincoln, McGuffey, and Willard schools. These students have been working hard to participate alongside the high school band members throughout tonight's game.
Some people pronounce that word.
Pre-game wouldn't be the same without the official song of the state of Ohio. Here is Hang On Sloopy. Mr. Young and Ms. Cerny, along with the entire Harding Band, would like to thank the middle school directors, Ms. Kamsa, Mr. Kiefer, Ms. Torres-Feeney, and Ms. Residlo for their work in preparing the 8th grade students for tonight's performance. Thank you, and we look forward to seeing you as part of the high school band next year.
course this evening. The vendor apologizes for their error.
Good evening, Raider Nation. Welcome to Mollenkopf Stadium. We're live, and it is the last home game of the 2022 high school football season. Once again, another season flying by. And tonight, your Raiders play host to the Cardinal Mooney Cardinals. Raiders coming off a thrilling last-second victory against Boardman last week, hoping to stay on that winning track and still with a shot at getting to the playoffs. Tom Bird on hand as always, along with Eddie Colbert. Eddie, good to see you tonight.
Good to see you too, Tom. Always a special night, senior night. Remember our days back in playing. You know, some of these guys, they came up from when they were at the Little Raiders to 8th grade, 7th, 8th grade, junior high. Now here at the varsity level, it's always a special moment being able to step out onto a field on Friday night and underneath these lights. But it's always more special when it's a place like Mollenkopf that has this type of history. So I want to congratulate all the seniors for their career. Wish them the best of luck as they go out and hopefully go out on a high note here at Mollenkopf Stadium on senior night.
Waiting for the Raiders to make their entrance while the national anthem and kickoff will be coming along shortly. Stay tuned, Raider Nation. We'll have football in just a few minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we would like to ask everyone to stand as we take a moment of silence. The Cardinal Mooney family has recently suffered a tragic loss. Coach Mark Polini, son of Vince and Diane Polini, and nephew of Mooney's head coach Carl Polini, passed away earlier this week. Mark was a 2010 graduate of Cardinal Mooney and has served as the offensive line coach at Mooney since 2020. In honor of Coach Mark, the Cardinal Mooney players are wearing a memorial decal on their helmets with Mark's initials. As a tribute to Coach Mark, and in remembrance of his life and the innumerable contributions he has made to the Cardinal Mooney family, let us please observe a moment of silence in his honor. The Cardinal
Cardinal Mooney family thanks you. At this time, we would ask you all to please remain standing as the Warren G. Harding Marching Band, under the direction of Mr. Reed Young and Miss Heather Cerny, plays our national anthem, the Star Spangled Banner. Cheerleaders and football players. There's only one thing left to do. Leave your mark forever. It's Cardinals versus Raiders, and it's time to play the game. It's all about the game, but how you play it.
Are they switching again? Seriously. Wow. Can our kick returners get a 30-second breather for the two 80-yard wind sprints? They just, oh, hey.
All right, Raider Nation, we are ready for football. I think we finally got the ends of the field settled. Everybody's in their right spot. Javante Jones back to receive the opening kickoff for the Raiders. And it's time to play some football. Last home game of the season of Mollenkopf. Sit back and enjoy. There's a low line drive kick. That's fielded at the 5-yard line. Picked up. Cut back to the middle. It's a nice looking return. Hit at the 25 and brought down. And that's where the Raiders going to start off. Look like number 20, Raylan Weaver on that return. Raiders are going to start 1st and 10 at their own 25.
Yeah, Tom, both these teams are going to try to get off to a fast start. Raiders are going to be a little undersized. You're going to see a lot of beef on that front line, offense and defense from this Mooney squad. So good look for the Raiders to take advantage of that speed and quickness early. Try to use that athleticism to gain them some advantages. Get up early on this larger defense and offensive line. Glad to see number 75, Big John Caldwell, out there to get the start his senior year here on senior night.
Dallas Jet in at quarterback. It's Devin Boss in motion. And actually, that's Javante Jones. Jones is going to get the ball around the end. He'll pick up a couple on that carry. Javante Jones on that end-around sweep.
Javante Jones, we started calling his name a couple of games ago here. He's a junior. We're going to see him again next year, 6 foot 170. Great compliment to another junior, 6'1", 215, Ryan Powell. Great 1-2 punch out of the backfield for the Raiders.
Jacob Lawrence, he's the wide man coming to this side of the field. And this time, Dallas Jet's going to keep it. Jet gets some running room. Jet has broken free, and Dallas Jet is going to scamper 75 yards for a touchdown, Warren Harding.
No flags on the play. Great run coming out of the chute by Dallas Jet there. We've talked about the offense has been on his shoulders all year long, whether it be the arm or the legs. Right there, took that straight quarterback draw to the right there, right upfield for 75 yards for a touchdown to get the Raiders started off on the right foot.
Raiders with an early 6-0 lead, and Jake Doherty, last week's hero with that last-second field goal, on to attempt the extra point. And that kick is up and good, and it is 7-0. Warren Harding early.
Tom, exactly how the Raiders wanted to start out. You know, we've talked all year about some of the undersize that they have on that defense and offensive line. They've been able to use their athleticism and their quickness early on, first half into the third quarter, to be able to win a lot of those battles. So it was very important for Harding to get out quick, use their speed, get upfield and get some scores. Let that defense do what it's done all year, get that lead, but try to establish that flow. Get Cardinal Mooney with that size off balance. Utilize those athletes as you saw in that play there for a 75-yard touchdown.
Jake Doherty back on to do the kicking. Raiders getting set to kick off.
Right away, we're going to see that defense here. 2 plays in, 75 yards for the Raiders. We're going to see the defense that's kind of been the cornerstone of this team all year. Really kept them in a lot of games. We talked about the youthfulness of this team and the ability for the future, but we're looking at right now. Believe it or not, with 2 wins, the Raiders are still in the playoff hunt.
Doherty with a high, not too deep kick. That's fielded about the 22-yard line. Good coverage by the Raiders, out to about the 28-yard line. Number 26, Aiden Page on the return for Cardinal Mooney. Cardinal Mooney's offense, they'll be led on the field by quarterback, junior Ashton O'Brien.
Keep an eye on 2 players right now, number 16, Coleman, number 58, Alexander. Alexander with a big game last year. He's going to be on the left end, flanked by right end Nye Coleman on the right end. Alexander with a big game last week against Boardman.
O'Brien flanked on either side by running backs. He sends Page in motion. There's a pass over the middle. That pass is complete. That's complete to number 22, Nolan Radinsky. He's going to pick up about 8 yards on that play, bring up a 2nd down and 2.
Cardinal Mooney coming out with a quick pass, looking for that zone defense, somebody hooking up in the soft spot there, trying to catch those linebackers, get them a little off edge right now. You don't want those linebackers thinking that they could just simply come up and block those holes. You want to kind of push them back a little bit to open up that run game later in the game.
And this time the handoff is up the middle. That's number 26, Aiden Page. Page gets close to a 1st down. Looks like he may be, they're waving the chains for us. So he did get enough for the 1st down. It's 1st and 10. Cardinal Mooney at their own 39-yard line.
Mooney's going to look to try to establish that line of scrimmage with their size up front, try to wear down these quicker athletes that are on the front four, this 4-3 defense of of Harding, trying to wear them down early with these run plays to try to break those big runs later in the game.
And O'Brien looking to throw again. He's under a lot of pressure. Scrambles out to his right, still looking. Manages to get rid of the ball, and it's thrown out of bounds to avoid the sack. Brings up a 2nd down and 10. Big pressure from that Harding defensive line.
Talked about 58 Alexander at the beginning of the game right there. A lot of pressure on the quarterback, forcing him to make an error throw out of bounds. Going to bring up this 2nd and 10.
Ashton O'Brien, a 6'3", 180-pound junior at quarterback for the Cardinals.
A lot of size back there by the junior quarterback, 6'3", able to see over this big beefy lineman to read that defense. We'll see what kind of pressure the Raiders can put on him here early.
Aiden Page, the running back, sets up the hand. I think the end on this side started a little bit early. And that's going to back up the Cardinals 5 more yards, make it a 2nd down and 15.
You talked earlier about the speed on the defensive front four for the Raiders there. You got number 54, Tino, I think that's Murillo. He's a senior listed at 6'5", 280. Later in the game, that size is going to come into play, but right now with the speed and quickness of those defensive ends, as we talked about early, they're trying to get those steps a little early because they try to match up with the speed. That time he got caught, 5-yard penalty, going to put it in a 2nd and 16 situation.
And this time O'Brien rolls out to his left. And O'Brien is going to be sacked all the way back at the 20-yard line.
Looks like that was
Javonte Jones, I think, got in there.
Javonte Jones calling his name. He's going both ways. Pressure on the quarterback. Looked like he came from maybe a safety or a corner position there. Able to bring up a huge play for the Raiders there. Once again, using their speed, using their athleticism to counter this big size that they've seen all year from opposing teams. Using that speed and that quickness to be able to get pressure, get penetration, and cause problems in the backfield for the opponents.
Initial contact was at the 23. It's 3rd down and 29. And this time the handoff is up the middle of Page. Page gets out to about the 25. That's going to bring up 4th and very long, and the Cardinals are going to be punting off this first possession.
Tom, we've seen this a lot all year with this Raider defense really coming out in the first half and really establishing itself, utilizing its athleticism, putting that offense in very poor positions like you saw with that 3rd and 29, just to give up draw play there. Going to put the Raiders in pretty good field position here.
We're going to see if they try to keep this ball away from Dallas Jett. Jett is back to receive this punt.
Looks like they're coming.
And the punter's bobbled the ball. He's running around back there, and that's going to be a low line drive punt, and that's not going to be very far at all. The Raiders are going to get excellent field possession off of that.
Great call by the coaching staff there early on, using that speed, using that quickness, getting in there, causing havoc in the backfield, causing that punter to think twice about that, bobble the ball, a misguided kick to the sideline there. Raiders are going to start with great field position right inside the Cardinal Mooney territory.
Raiders are going to have the ball 1st and 10 at the Mooney 40-yard line. 8:07 to play in the first quarter. Raiders with an early 7-0 lead off of a 75-yard touchdown run by Dallas Jett. And Dallas Jett brings that offense back out on the field. He's got Ryan Powell in the running back spot behind him.
Expect to see a lot of what you saw in the first drive there. A lot of Dallas Jett. If it's not broke, don't try to fix it.
Jett keeps it again. Jett with a move. Jett past the line of scrimmage. And Dallas Jett dances his way for 7 or 8 yards on 1st down.
I like the play action there, get those linebackers. All Dallas Jett, he's not just fast, as you see from the replay. Watch his feet. He's got quickness. All he needs is for those linebackers, as you see those linebackers to read inside, get out of position. All he needs is one half step, one full step, and it gives him that angle to be able to get upfield and get positive gains for the Raiders.
2nd and 3 for the Raiders. And this time they give us to Ryan Powell. Powell breaks through the line of scrimmage. Powell all the way inside the 20-yard line. 1st down, Harding.
Talked about Ryan Powell all year, 6'1", 215 running back, able to really just get up there, use those line blocks, get to that second level, and use his body to be able to just power forward for those extra yards, bringing up another 1st and 10 for the Raiders here early on in the first quarter.
Powell gets it down to the Mooney 19-yard line. And he stays lined up directly behind Dallas Jet. And they're going to give it to him again. This time, Powell's met in the backfield, and he's going to lose a couple on that play.
Cardinal Mooney stacking the box there on that play, assuming the run play, able to send some blitzers there. Harding wasn't able to pick it up, going to result in a loss of 2 for the Raiders, going to bring up a 2nd and 12.
William Desmond on that tackle. 6'2", 210-pound defensive end for the Cardinals. This time Powell sets up the Jets right. There's a flag on the play. So it looks like a sideline warning on Harding, backing him up a little bit.
Sideline warning against the Raiders.
It will remain 2nd down and 12. Jet will drop back this time. Jet looking to that right corner. He's got a man down there.
Him.
And that ball is caught. Touchdown Raiders!
Najee Jones, one of the favorite targets that we've seen him and sophomore Chaz Coleman. Heard a lot of those names. Couldn't ask for anything better for the Raiders to start out, being able to establish themselves on the ground with a 75-yard touchdown from Dallas Jet, followed up by the arm of Dallas Jet, going for a touchdown to number 14, Jones again.
And that kick is up, and it is good, and it is 14-0 Harding with 6:12 to play in the first quarter. Jet to Jones in that far corner for the score.
Dallas was able to drop back, acknowledge that one-on-one coverage he had over there, saw that his receiver had a step, put it on that back shoulder to where only his receiver had the ability to catch it. Receiver was able to make a nice catch, get the toes down in the corner of the end zone, putting Harding up here early, 14-0. You know, all year, Tom, we talked about the defense, the defense, the defense. This is one thing that we haven't seen is the defense being able to step up the way they have thus far. Early, obviously, 6 minutes and 12 seconds left in the first, but the offense being able to capitalize off of those three and outs, getting up the field, getting in the end zone, putting points on the board, and putting that defense, letting them relax just a little bit. This is exactly what they've been looking for all year. Nice to see it here on senior night with a 14-0 lead here in the the first quarter.
And I think this time the Raiders got a little bit of a head start on that. We're going to back that up 5 yards and do it again from the 35.
Hey, it's 14-0. They get excited. Want to get down there. Everybody wants to make a play.
Like you said, it's good to see that offense. They get a break on that punt, great field position, and take advantage of it. Too many times during the season they get that field position and just kind of fizzle out as they get down there. This time they made it count.
You know, we saw that against St. Vincent St. Mary's. I think the defense forced 3 turnovers in the first half, and they were only able to capitalize off the scoop and score by Nye Coleman. And so nice to be able to see that defense creating that 3rd and long, that created the 4th and long, putting that offense in great position and them capitalizing on it.
It's a low line drive kick, fielded about the 15-yard line. And he'll be dragged down at the 35. That looked like number 32, 82, not 32, 82. Tyon Flowers on that return, gets dragged down about the 35-yard line. And Mooney will start from the 35, 1st and 10, and see what they could do now against this Raider defense.
Defense coming out here, look for some pressure from that right and that left end there. A lot of athleticism on that front 4.
Aiden Page in that backfield sets up the quarterback Ashton O'Brien's right. He's got 4 receivers in that set, 2 on each side. And a quick out pass. Picked up well by the Raiders. That's just a gain of 3 yards out to about the 34-yard line. Actually, the 39-yard line, my mistake.
Like to see that defense swarming 5, 6 black jerseys around every tackle.
Brings up a 2nd down and 7 for Mooney. They're going to send 3 receivers to this side. And this time the handoff is to Page. There's a flag on the play, another flag on the play. Page gets it out to about the 42-yard line. We're going to have to sort out a couple penalties here.
Look like that comes in the area holding. We'll see what they call.
And it is indeed a holding call against the Cardinals. That will back Mooney up.
Look, the way the defense is playing right now, we talk about all the time how, you know, those 10-yard penalties, holding specifically, just drive killers. And early on here, the way this defense is playing, look for them to put their foot on the gas pedal right here. 2nd and 17, I look for Coach Arnold and the defense to send a blitz here, make that quarterback make a unadvised decision quick, throw the ball away or possibly even an interception.
O'Brien looking over to his left. Finds number 1 out there, Alec Del Senor. And again, Mooney coming in with these big, tall receivers. Del Senor, 6'2", 205. And their other main deep threat, Ty Reale, 6'1", 180. So again, another set of tall receivers for those defensive backs to come up against.
Well, in the defensive backs, we talked about the youth within the defensive backfield. I think Devin Boss, the only senior back there, comprised of a lot of sophomores. So they're going to depend highly on those front 4 to get some pressure, get that quarterback to make some ill-advised decisions or throw the ball quicker than he'd want to. That's all going to start with the front 4.
3rd down and 8 for the Cardinals. And O'Brien running for his life again. And he's got to get rid of that one or throw it away. That's going to bring up a 4th down and 8. And again, the Raiders force the Cardinal Mooney to punt.
No, exactly what we talked about there. You had number 7, like Jaden Hudson, putting a lot of pressure coming off that left end position on the quarterback. Forced him to run out to his right, make an ill-advised throw out of bounds. All that was started by the pressure that came from the front 4.
Dallas Jett back to receive the punt once again. And that's a bad snap. And the punter's bobbling again. And again the punter's running around. And again a poor punt. Manages to get that ball to roll down to the Raider 42-yard line. But once again, Warren Harding with great field position to start another drive.
Yeah, really no excuse on that. Raiders were set up in a return. They weren't going after the kick. Just a little miscommunication or mishandling by the punter there. A lot of pressure coming in on him, but he was able to get off that squib kick. Nice roll. Kind of looks like your mid-game there in golf. Rolling it up to the green there. But once again, going to give the Raiders a great opportunity because it looked like it must have hit a Cardinal Mooney player up around the 40-yard line.
They were scattering to get out of the way of that ball, and that's exactly what happened. And the Raiders are going to be 1st and 10 at the Mooney 39-yard line.
Yeah, great opportunities for the Raiders here early. We've seen this before. The difference is watching the Raiders offense being able to take advantage of the situations in which its defense has put them in.
And Ryan Powell once again sets up behind Dallas Jett. And Powell gets the call. He's going to move that pile ahead for about 5 yards. Give him 4 yards down to the 35. Make it 2nd down and 6.
All about momentum, Tom. The momentum of the game, the momentum of the players. You can see it in them. You can feel that little pep in the step. You know, Ryan Powell, yards after contact right there. He was probably hit at the line of scrimmage, able to turn that into a 4-yard gain.
Second down and 6. Clock ticking. We're getting close to the 4-minute mark here in the first quarter. And the Raiders, after a second poor attempt at a punt by the Cardinals, the Raiders with great field position, and they are on the move once again. And this time Jett drops back. Jett looking again. Jett over the middle. He's hit as he throws that ball. And that's going to be a completion down inside the 20, close to another first down. He finds Nye Coleman over the middle on that. Brings up a 3rd down and a very short one.
Nye Coleman, they have him listed at 6'5", 200 pounds, using his big body there, finding space over the middle there. As those safeties and those corners retreat, it's him one-on-one with a linebacker. He uses his big body like a post up in basketball to make the catch.
And this time Jet keeps it. Jet past the line of scrimmage again. Dallas Jet down inside the 20, inside the 15. Dallas Jet inside the 10-yard line. It's 1st and goal, Harding.
You know, what more can you say? Dallas Jet just, I mean, you know, he's got the speed, he's got the quickness. On that play, you saw the vision. You saw him reading these blocks as you watch the replay, as he just watches his blocks set up and instantly gets himself north and south. Too many times when you have speed and quickness, you try to use east and west. East and west doesn't score touchdowns. It's all about north and south. He plants that left leg, gets himself upfield, gets the positive yards, gets the first down, gets him inside the 10.
1st and goal, Harding at the Mooney 9-yard line. And Jet keeps it again. He's hit, but he manages to get a couple. Gets up to about the 7 or 8-yard line. Brings up a 2nd down and goal. There's a loose helmet down there, so somebody's going to be coming off the field for a play.
See the trainers coming out. Looked like that. Was that Dallas Jets?
I think that's Dallas Jet. He's going to have to sit down and play. His helmet came off. And that's happened once before. Fortunately, he avoided any kind of contact this time.
Yeah, we did see that. I think, what was that, 2nd, 3rd game of the year? Scary moment. Helmet comes off on a run. You know, you're just in the midst of the game. The play doesn't stop. You know, everybody's fighting for more yards, trying to make tackles. Ugly knee to the head. Put him out for a couple games. Great to see him back. Great to see him back here. Sent him out for a quarter. Looks like they're going to call a legal substitution possibly.
So we get some confusion as Dallas Jet has to sit out of play. Didn't quite get the substitutions right. That's going to back the Raiders up 5 yards. Drew McCowan, sophomore backup quarterback, was set to step in for play. Drew McCowan, who filled in very nicely for Dallas Jet when he was out.
Yeah, you know, Drew came in, you know, thought of as a pocket passer, and he did that. He's got some size to him. He's got some height. You know, he's got a pretty decent arm, but, you know, he did a lot with his legs. You know, a couple first downs on 3rd and 2, couple first downs on 3rd and 12. Just a very versatile player. Look forward to seeing a lot more of him next year for his senior year.
Now, due to that penalty, that allows Dallas Jet to come back in the ball game. Actually, no, that's still Drew McCowan in there. I thought I saw Dallas. That's Javonte Jones getting around that right end, and Jones gets it back down to the 10-yard line. Make it 2nd and goal from there.
Check that. Hand off to number 5, Javonte Jones. Tackle on the play by number 2, Cameron Swing.
And now we see Dallas Jet get set to come back in the ball game.
Well, first adversity, I think maybe even well, I think they had a 3rd and 1. You're going to have a 3rd and 11 here. I think it's actually a 3rd and goal from the 11-yard line. So we'll see what the Raiders choose to do. They've had some success with Dallas on the ground. They've had success with Dallas through the air. 3rd and 11 here. You figure the defense is going to be looking for that pass. We'll see what the offense does to try to switch this up on him and get 6 into the end zone.
It is still McCowan in at quarterback. And he'll drop back. And this time McCowan's going to keep it. McCowan up to the 5-yard line. And Drew McCowan takes it inside the 5-yard line where it's going to be 4th and goal from about the 3-yard line.
Interesting situation here. You got confidence in Jake after the big kick last week. But the way this offense has been going, 3rd and 3, I don't think you let him off the ropes. I think you put the big back in there with Dallas coming back on the field. Put the big back in the backfield. Pressure this defense. Even if you don't get it, it's going to leave the Cardinal Mooney offense in a very difficult position inside their own 5.
And again, it's Drew McCowan remains in the quarterback. It is a 4th and goal from the Mooney 3-yard line. 1 minute, 7 seconds of play in the first quarter. Harding trying to extend the lead.
Mooney's going to want to. No, Harding's going to want to talk about it.
Timeout and trying to talk about this one.
came out in a real tight bunch formation. I would have thought run from that formation or try to get some of those linebackers confused, with some of the with everybody being tight in there. But great situation for the Raiders. I mean, they've came out, ran the perfect offense thus far. You've seen a great balance between the passing attack and the running attack. Everything clicking on on all cylinders right now for the Raiders here in the first quarter.
You see some splashes of pink out there. It is October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So you'll see some pink throughout there. Our cheerleaders with pink on as well. So a big shout out to all those battling that terrible disease, survivors. That includes my own sister Lori. I don't know if she's watching the game tonight, but she's battling breast cancer herself. So, of course, all my best to her. She's doing well so far and hopefully continue to do so.
Yeah, great to see the support down here. My mother's a breast cancer survivor and good friend. Annie Wren is a breast cancer survivor as well. So great to see everybody down here supporting everybody who's going through that battle.
And the Raiders are going to bring Jake Doherty out and try to extend the lead with a field goal, trying to up that lead to 17-0. Doherty sets up the 10. This is a 20-yard attempt, not much more than an extra point. And that kick is up. And it is good, and the Raiders go on top 17-0 on the 20-yard field goal by Jake Doherty.
Nice kick by Jake there. Going to put another 3 on the board for the Raiders. Going to put them up here 17-0 in the first quarter. You saw when they came out, they thought about going for the touchdown inside the 3-yard line. Thought better of it. Put the points on the board. The defense has been doing its job here in the first quarter. Have faith in them. Put them back on the field. Let them get that 3 and out. Put the offense back on the field and get another score.
It's number 10, Ty Reale back there, and number 82, Tyon Flowers. They are the deep men for Cardinal Mooney. Jake Doherty sets up at the 40-yard line for another Raider kickoff. And that kick is going to be fielded by Flowers about the 11-yard line. Flowers up the middle. Flowers breaks the tackle. He drops the ball inside the 40. Manages to get back on it. He gets the ball out to about the 43-yard line. That ball was loose for a hot second.
Tyon Flowers had an opportunity there. Freshman getting varsity time this year. I can tell you from experience, I had the pleasure of coaching him when he was in 6th grade for the Little Raiders. One tremendous athlete, put in the work, getting the opportunity here at the varsity level under the lights. Put the ball on the ground there. Unfortunately, the Raiders couldn't come up with it, but good to see the young man out there, freshman, putting in work for his school over here now at Cardinal Mooney.
And Mooney's about their best field position in the evening. They have the ball at their own 43-yard line. And another bad snap, and that ball's going to be down in the backfield. So Mooney having a little problems with that center quarterback and center punter exchange right now.
Yeah, obviously some issues. Looked like the side judge might have blown that play dead a little early. I'm not sure that they actually had possession while his knee was on the ground.
Maybe right there.
It was close.
Yeah.
Just because your knee's on the ground and your hand's touching it, I don't know that that's possession. But once again, capitalizing on the mistakes of Mooney, this defense is right there, being able to make those plays, putting them in these precarious 2nd and 14 positions.
Play results in a 4-yard loss. And the handoff is to Page. Page is hit hard at the line of scrimmage, falls ahead for about 1 yard or 2 yards, brings up another 3rd down and long for the Cardinals.
It's going to bring up a 3rd and 14. Looks like Cardinal Mooney's going to get the advantage of this end of the first quarter to be able to talk about it. I got it. Yep, got it. While we've got a break in the action here, my partner here for several years, Tom Bird, You know, you see him up here, or you hear him up here announcing these games. You know he's a teacher, but he's also a bowler. And I want to take the opportunity to congratulate Mr. Bird. Mr. Bird is going to be inducted into the Warren Bowling Association Hall of Fame.
Thank you.
Mr. Bird, it's always been a pleasure to work with you. My kid's in your school. He speaks highly of you. I see you here in the booth. I know what you do out there bowling, but I know being inducted in this Hall of Fame has to be an honor.
It truly is. I'm humbled by it. My mother got me started in the game, and I wish she was here to see that. And I know she's looking down, and hopefully she's happy about that. I know I am. It's a tremendous honor.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it. And it looks like that time, that's going to be some encroachment on the Raiders. They're going to give 5 yards back to the Cardinals on that play. No, actually, that's going to be a procedure call on Mooney. So the defensive lineman who jumped down there was drawn offsides, and Mooney's going to back up another 5 yards.
You know, once again, Tom, I mean, we don't have the stats in front of us, but I believe almost every third down that Mooney has faced thus far has been a third and double digits, whether it's the Raiders defense getting a sack or it's through penalties.
And O'Brien drops straight back, looking deep down that sideline. He's got number 1. That was Alec DeSignore out there just off his fingertips, and that's going to bring up a 4th down and 17. And so far, Mooney's had 2 punt attempts, and they've both been an adventure. They're going to give it another shot here.
Tom, when it rains, it pours. O'Brien saw his receiver up to the high side with the one-on-one coverage, had a step, put that ball in a position. His receiver went up to high point, just couldn't come down with it. Combine that with the penalty before to make it that 3rd and 17, put them in a position to where they didn't have much more to do than to go for that long bomb. Defense for the Raiders right now really putting them in a great position to come out early, establish themselves, and put themselves in position to win this game.
And a better snap, and this time he was able to get the punt off, but again, and that's probably a good thing that Raylan Weaver slipped down there. That ball's going to roll down to the 15-yard line. That low line drive, almost a squib punt, gets down to the 15, and the Raiders are going to start off 1st and 10 at their own 15.
Yeah, as the return man, you see that, you know that you want to get in front of it. You want to save yourself some yards, but it's almost, if any of you have ever faced a knuckleball, trying to field balls like that, yeah, the coaches want you to preserve that yardage, but at the same time, you'd rather live for the next play. Right now, the way the offense is moving, the way the defense is moving, no reason for the Raiders to be taking any type of chances right now. Let that ball go back to the 15-yard line, get the offense back on field, establish that running game, get some passes in there, let the offense do what it does, get upfield and score a touchdown.
And it appears that Drew McCowan is still in a quarterback, so hopefully Dallas Jett is okay down there. We haven't seen him since his helmet came off. Ryan Powell, 5 or 6 yards on 1st down. It's going to bring up a 2nd down. Looks like 7 yards. Getting 2nd down and 3. Gets it out to about the 22-yard line.
Work to your strengths. Right now, the running game is on. The offensive line is establishing their blocks up front, getting those running backs to the 2nd level. Keep on establishing that run. Keep on establishing the line of scrimmage. Moving that ball 5-6 yards of play will get you a touchdown.
Ryan Powell, the deep back. And it's going to be Powell again. Powell looks like he gets corralled. He gets back to maybe the line of scrimmage. He got stopped over there going to left, tried to reverse his field, and manages to get back to the line of scrimmage without a loss. Brings up a 3rd down and 3.
It's going to be, looks like they're going to measure that out about a 3rd and 2. Now, we talked about before the game, when Drew goes into the game, he is a pocket passer, but has shown throughout the year his ability to be able to use his feet to be able to scramble and get some of those 1st downs, whether it's a 3rd and 12 or a 3rd and 2. He's shown that pocket presence to be able to be calm enough back there to assess the field and get upfield to keep drives alive.
And this time McCowan keeps it, rolls out to his left, way downfield. That looked like number 23, Jacob Lawrence, might have had a step on the defender, but the ball was a little bit too far to the outside for him.
Yeah, you had a couple receivers kind of in the same area there. Drew threw the ball up, hoping that he could put enough air under it for his receiver to come down with it. Unfortunately, it's going to bring up a 4th and 3 and force the first punt for the Raiders tonight.
Jake Dory on the punt. Dory gets off a nice high spiral, and that ball is bobbled. Nice coverage by that Raider punt team. That was number 2, Cameron Sweeney. A little bit of a bobble there. Gets fields at about the 44-yard line, manages to fall ahead to the 46, and that will be Mooney. 1st and 10 at their own 46-yard line to open up this second quarter possession for them.
Mooney's defense, first time they were able to hold the Raider offense to a punt there. Going to find themselves a pretty good field position here at the 45-yard line. Let's see what they can do with it, or see if this Raiders defense can keep with what they've been doing, getting pressure in the backfield, forcing error throws, and being able to bottle up the running backs before they can break that second level.
O'Brien back to pass. He's looking long, but he's under a lot of pressure. He's forced to get rid of that, and that ball's going to fall incomplete. 2nd down and 10.
Number 58, Alexander, in there on the pressure. Been calling his name a couple times tonight. Talked about the ability to only rush 4, not have to worry about blitzing anybody. Get the pressure on the quarterback. Make him throw the ball before he's ready to.
See O'Brien almost directing traffic out there, trying to get his receiver to go deep. But by the time that happened, defensive line was in and causing him all kinds of problems. Now it's 2nd down and 10. And the handoff is to Aiden Page. Page trying to get around that right corner. He's going to get a few yards out there, forced out of bounds, just short of the 50-yard line. So he'll pick up about 4 on that play.
Yeah, he was able to break the end right there, get around the corner, but with enough space out there, End was able to still string him out to the sideline to hold him to a 4-yard gain.
3rd and 6 for Cardinal Mooney out at their own 49-yard line. And this may be about Mooney's shortest 3rd down attempt thus far.
Yeah, we talked about before, I think all their 3rd downs were 3rd and double digits. This 3rd and 6, we'll see what the Mooney quarterback comes up with.
And O'Brien looking to pass. And he had Alec Del Senor out there with a nice catch. Kind of a jump ball all the way down to the Raider 30-yard line. It's 1st and 10, Cardinal Mooney.
Big size advantage out there. I think that's Devin Boss, the senior. Got him listed at about 5'8". You've got Del Senor out there at 6'2". That's the second time they went after him, trying to high point that ball and on the man-to-man coverage. That time he was able to come up with it for a 1st down.
And if O'Brien has the time, he has shown the ability to put yards up for the Cardinal Mooney team. He's got 2 big receivers to go to. It is 1st and 10, Cardinal Mooney, Raider 30-yard line. That handoff looked like it was to number 18, Cameron Page, and Page gets very little on that play. Maybe a yard, called 2nd down and 9 from the 29-yard line.
Alexander, again, talking about him a lot, came off a big game last week versus Boardman, and he's continued on that same path with this game here. Probably 3rd or 4th time we've called his name tonight. Able to stop that Mooney offense for only a gain of 1.
Another low snap, another bobbled snap, and O'Brien rolls out to his left. And he's
nothing.
That ball is
nothing.
And they're going to call that a catch. Not real sure about that one, but they're going to call that a catch at the 1-yard line.
No, okay, there they go. There they go.
And it looks like that call is going to be reversed, and it's going to be called an incomplete pass.
You see O'Brien rolls out, probably could have ran that ball for a first down, but he's thinking pass first. From our angle, it looked like an obvious trap. You got the DB right there calling the obvious trap. Looks like the official that came in from the high side tried to call that a completion. Luckily, we had somebody with a better angle to make the appropriate call of an incomplete pass.
3rd and 9 at the Raider 29-yard line.
17-0 with 8:24 here in the second time. You think this is 4-down territory if they don't get this?
I believe they're in 4-down territory right here.
Yeah, best
on this
drive
side
you've
of the
seen.
field, and they have not shown the ability to punt at all. O'Brien back to pass. He had Aiden Page on a run. Page couldn't haul it in, and that brings up a 4th down and 9.
Aiden Page came out of the backfield on that wheel route. Nobody accounted for him. All he was seeing was green in front of him, but as the coaches tell you got to make the catch first. He was seeing the end zone. Ball went through his hands, going to bring up a 4th and 9 here. It looks like they are going to leave the offense out on the field for this 4th and 9. Best field position, best drive Mooney's had all night.
4th and 9 for Cardinal Mooney as they go for it here from the 29-yard line. They send 3 receivers to the left. They got 1 man up on top. And O'Brien back to pass. Under pressure again, forced down the pocket.
Nothing.
And he's going to have to throw that one wide. And that ball is going to be a turnover on downs. The Raider defense holds. It's 1st and 10 Harding at their own 29-yard line.
Stellar performance by this defense thus far in the first half. Going to bring up on the best drive that Mooney's had all night. Bring up that 4th and 9. O'Brien senses that pressure, steps up in the pocket, buys himself some time, sees his receiver on that flat route out there, but the defense being able to get in his face, forcing that throw, air it out of bounds, going to turn the ball over to the Raiders here in the second quarter with 8 minutes left.
Raiders on top 17-0, just about midway through the second quarter. A Dallas Jet 75-yard touchdown run and a Dallas Jet touchdown pass to Najee Jones. Jake Doherty has capped it off so far with a 20-yard field goal, and Drew McCowan remains in a quarterback. Dallas Jet lost his helmet a couple series ago. We have not seen him back in the game since. And there was a give up the middle, hit early. That's going to get just back to the line of scrimmage, result in a 2nd down and 10.
You know, Dallas lost his helmet on that play. Watched him come off the field. He didn't seem that, he had any ailments from that, but they've been staying with the junior thus far. Obviously, a little different approach to the game. We saw a lot of quarterback runs when we had Dallas in the game. Turning the ball over to McCown, able to really run this offense. We've seen him done it before, but just not the same attack that you see from Dallas Jet.
And this time the handoff is Najee Jones. Najee Jones trying to get around the end, and that play is strung out. And it's going to result in about a 2-yard loss. Brings up a 3rd down and 12.
Well, 3rd and 12. This is where Drew's going to earn his money at. Obvious pass situation here. Looking for him to find some of those receivers over the middle. Look for those one-on-ones on the outside. You need 12 yards. The way this offense and this defense has been performing, I don't expect this to be any type of 4-down situation. If they're not able to get it, I definitely expect them to punt it, put that defense back on the field, and let them do its job.
Devin Boss and Jacob Lawrence, they split up on the high side. McCowan drops back straight. Looking down this sideline, and that ball was almost picked off, but that's going to bring up a 4th down and 12. Number 28, Dennis Clark for the Cardinals on that coverage.
Mooney brought a blitz there from the right side, kind of came up through the middle, forced Jake to release that ball a little quicker. He was able to identify the single one-on-one coverage down there. Receiver just unable to go up there and 50-50 the ball and come down with it.
Jake Doherty on to punt once again. And number 2, Cameron Sweeney, is hit immediately at the 45-yard line. And that's where Mooney will set up 1st down and 10 with 6:31 to play in the half.
Yeah, dangerous catch by Sweeney there. He was basically catching that ball, tucking and ducking. Way to hold on to the ball. Going to give Mooney, once again, similar field position, up roughly around midfield, looking for that defense, calling on them once again to get a 3 and out, get the Mooney offense off the field and get the Raiders offense back on.
Ashton O'Brien he leads his offense back out in the field, and you know Mooney wants to get some points on the board. They're going to get the ball to start the second half.
Look for them to look for some of those passes to these big receivers out here that they've got that size advantage of. You saw a couple of those plays work for positive yards in the last drive. Expect them to go back to that well a couple times to see if they can get this offense moving and get it in a positive nature.
A little confusion in the offense right there, and Mooney calls a timeout.
So, find ourselves at the last game of the year, Tom. You know, we talk when we start this, you know, what a pleasure it is to come out here and you come back, you know, last game of the year under these lights up in the booth. But just a great performance. Can't say enough about what they're able to do out here on the offensive and defensive side, putting on a show for the home crowd and for these seniors tonight.
O'Brien back to pass on 1st and 10. He's got a lot of time this time. Now he's being forced to scramble out. He's going to pick up some yardage out about the Raider 45-yard line. About a yard short of first down. That's going to bring up a 2nd down and 1 for the Cardinals.
You know, you've seen that opportunity in a couple plays here. O'Brien, obviously a pocket passer, looking to get that ball downfield with his arm before he's ready to use his legs. Probably could have picked up a 1st down on that last drive if he would have used his legs. He chose to throw the ball, short hop the ball to his receiver down near the goal line. Here he chooses to tuck that ball, get upfield, get that Mooney offense a 1st down and a new set of downs here inside Raider territory.
O'Brien did manage to get a 1st down. It is 1st and 10 at the Raider 44-yard line. 6:21 to play in the half. And O'Brien again, straight back. And again, O'Brien under pressure. Breaks up through the pocket. O'Brien past the line of scrimmage. O'Brien will get a few yards. Gets about 5 out there about the 40-yard line. Clock continues to run.
A lot of pressure coming from the Raider defense, from those 2 defensive ends. He was able to find a soft spot up the middle there, exploit it, get upfield to get the Mooney offense a 4-yard gain.
2nd down and 6 for the Cardinals.
Yeah, a lot of credit to those DBs there. A lot of time they had to sit there and cover those receivers. You call that a coverage play right there. Able to hold the quarterback, which looks like he could have had a lot more yards, and hold him to 4 yards there, strictly by the coverage.
Del Senor and Reale, they go up to the top. And O'Brien back again. O'Brien over the middle. Looking for number 18, Cameron Page. Page can't hold on to it. And again, some good coverage out there by the Raider secondary.
Looked like that was 5. Javonte Jones there on the coverage. Receiver had a step, got his hands on it, but Javonte Jones able to get his hands on it at the last minute, knock that ball out to bring up this 3rd and 6 for the Raiders.
3rd and 6, and I would manage to guess that the Cardinal Mooney Cardinals, they are again in 4-down territory at this point in the half.
Yeah, Mooney's going to get the ball back at halftime, but obviously the momentum and the way you're seeing this game going, they got to get some points on the board sometime to get that offense and that defense, honestly, some little bit of
O'Brien finds Aiden Page coming out of the backfield. He's hit, but bounces off. He gets up inside the 35-yard line. That's going to be another 1st down for Cardinal Mooney.
Devin Boss is going to wish he had that play. I think that was Devin Boss. Or was that Javonte Jones? Can't tell if that's 5 or 6. That's Javonte Jones. You got to wrap. You got to wrap at this level. Can't just come in there with the shoulder pads. Got to put some arms around him, take him to the ground.
Page, a 5'9", 180-pound sophomore. He has shown the ability to run hard. He's going to take more than just a bump to bring him down.
Yeah, you got to wrap, got to bring them down.
Del Senor and Sweeney, they are out to the right. And that pass, he hits Page out of the backfield this time. And Page down about the 26-yard line.
See Mooney switching it up a little bit, you know, instead of looking for those receivers deep downfield and crossing routes. You've seen a couple times they try to run the wheel route out of the backfield, brought some of the running backs. That's trying to confuse the defense, seeing if those seeing if those linebackers are able to keep their concentration on the receiver that they're in charge of. A lot of times sending those running backs up the middle, hard for the linebackers to be able to keep up with them.
3 receivers left for the Cardinals. And O'Brien drops straight back, stumbles a little bit back there. Now he's running, now he's under pressure, has to get rid of it. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 4.
Great pressure there by Jaden Hudson, once again putting O'Brien in a position to where he's got to throw the ball in distress.
Jaden Hudson is having some issues getting up. Hudson is down over there. Hudson tried to get back to his feet, but is having issues doing this. Now we have an injury timeout. And while we have this timeout, I'd just like to, I don't know if you folks sitting home caught the announcement earlier on behalf of all of us here at WSCN and Warren G. Harding High School, like to send out our sincere condolences and thoughts to the Mooney football family. If you hadn't heard, they suffered a tremendous loss this week. One of their coaches, offensive line coach Mark Pellini, lost his life in an automobile accident earlier this week. So to the Mooney family, football family, and the Pellini family, our thoughts and prayers go out to you.
Yeah, you know, we come out, we get the privilege of coming out here on Friday nights, announcing games, players get to play games, you know, but when you have tragedy as such strike, you know, it really puts things in perspective of what's really important. And, you know, I know as a student, you know, we lost a couple classmates, and I know the hardest part was that empty desk. And, you know, losing a teacher is just as hard. And so our thoughts and prayers obviously are with the Mooney football team and the entire Mooney family as they go through this difficult time.
Trainer still attending to Jaden Hudson. Looks like he's standing, and he's going to be helped off the field. So unfortunate for that young man on his final home game. So hopefully that's nothing too serious, but if I had to guess, I don't think we'd be seeing Jaden Hudson the rest of the evening. But I hope I'm wrong about that.
Yeah, a little late in the year for cramps. The way they're helping him off the field, you know, you hope, you know, he can kind of get in there, keep the legs moving, stop that swelling from building up, and possibly be able to see him back up. But look, there's 2 more games, still with the possibility of playoffs. You're at a 17-0 game here in late into the second quarter. Want to do what's best for the student athlete. Get him the attention that he needs. If we can't see him this game, hopefully we'll see him later in the year.
3rd down and 4 for the Cardinals. They are at the Raider 27-yard line. Just under 4 minutes to play in the half. And O'Brien drops back again, looking over here. And O'Brien is forced out of the pocket once again. Throws it way up in the air. That's going to go out of bounds. It's going to bring up a 4th down and 4. And O'Brien, more often than not, is running for his life in that pocket back there.
Yeah, the defense just, I mean, you know, pinning their tails back and just getting it in on the quarterback, forcing him to make throws out of awkward positions, you know, running for his life to the left, to the right, or even backwards, giving those defensive backs a little extra help back there by putting the pressure on the quarterback up front.
Brings up a 4th down and 4, and yes, Mooney will be going for this with 3:47 to play. Three receivers come down here to the left. That's Alec Del Senor, the lone receiver up on the right, and Mooney is going to call a timeout and discuss this one. their second time out of the half.
Yeah, probably biggest play of the game for Mooney right now. You got 3:47 left, 17-0. This is, you know, some of the best yardage that you've seen out of your offense. You're going to go for it here on 4th and 4. You truly don't want to turn the ball over on downs here, giving that momentum back to the Raiders with two timeouts, 3:47 left. You don't want them to put another score on the board going into the halftime just totally deflated. You know, as we have a minute, kind of scouring the sideline here, looking for number 10. I don't see him sitting on the bench. I don't see him on the sideline with a helmet, and we haven't heard anything, but just didn't look like a real serious, any type of injury when the helmet popped off. But since that helmet came off, we have not seen starting quarterback, senior Dallas Jet for the Raiders.
Once again, Mooney with those three receivers coming down here to the left. That's Aiden Page, the running back, in the backfield alongside Ashton O'Brien. And somebody moved early down there. That's going to back Mooney up 5 more yards, bring up a 4th down and 9. So the Mooney offensive troubles continue to mount at this point.
You know, give a lot of credit to that front four. The quickness, the speed, the athleticism, the agility that they've shown all first half. It gets these big guys back on their heels, trying to get that just extra half-second, you know, advantage to be able to match up with the speed that they're seeing from this front four from the Raider defense.
And Mooney's going to try it once again. 4th down and 9. They're back at the 33-yard line. O'Brien back. He finds Page out of the backfield, and Page can't hold on to it once more, and that ball is turned over. It is Raider football with 3:42 to play in the first half.
Mooney went back to the well. That's the second time right in this area. They tried to run that wheel route from the backfield. 25, that is, that's
Aiden Page, 26, I believe.
Oh, that was Caden Page. Yeah, yep. Aiden Page comes out of the backfield. The first one, I think he would have had a touchdown. He was seeing green. That one, I think I might have saw some alligator arms. Saw that safety and that outside linebacker coming up. Thought twice about it. It's going to end up dropping to turnover on downs. 1st and 10 for the Raiders here with 3:42 left.
And McCowan remains in at quarterback. He's got Orion Dukes in the backfield alongside him. The Raiders send 3 receivers out here to the right side. 1st and 10, their own 32-yard line. And this time McCowan keeps it. And McCowan had a nice start to that run, just tripped up by a shoelace, gets it out to the 37-yard line.
Yeah, McCowan has shown his ability to run all year. Right there, that looked like that was a designed quarterback run. Was able to get up the field, use that speed, he's got a pretty big body to get upfield for about a gain of 5.
2nd down and 5. Clock continues to tick here in the first half. And this time the handoff is to Dukes. And Dukes will move the pile ahead for a couple. Gets close to a 1st down. Looks like he might have it. He gets it out to about the 42-yard line. And they are moving the chains. That is a 1st down, Harding.
Orion Dukes, the third part of that 3-headed monster of Dukes, Powell, and Jones that we've been seeing here after about the 2nd, 3rd game of the year. Going to come back up to the line of scrimmage. Clock is a factor with 2:37 left, but Raiders do have two timeouts.
And McCowan keeps it again, and this time McCowan's going to lose a bunch. Try to get up in the line of scrimmage. There was nothing there. Bounced out of the pile. Unfortunately, bounced backwards a little bit, and that's going to result in a loss of about 8 yards.
Yeah, tried another design run to Drew McCown. Drew McCown, a sophomore, 6'3". I think they've got him listed at 200 pounds. So we've got a couple more years of watching this young man develop. And from what we've seen thus far, Harding looks like they're going to be pretty solid at the quarterback position for a couple years to come.
Three receivers up on the top side for Harding. 2nd down and long. McCowan drops back to pass. He's under some pressure. Gets it out of the pocket. He'll get a couple yards on that play. He's going to bring by 3rd down and long. That was 2nd and 17. He might have picked up about 3 yards on that. Bring up a 3rd down and 14 out around the 38-yard line.
Yeah, a lot of pressure came in that time. Drew decided to tuck the ball, see what he could get out of it. Able to, most importantly, when you find yourself in these third down and long positions, keep that clock running. Mooney obviously comfortable with letting that clock run and going in with a 17-0 deficit. Right now, Harding wants to keep it running. Don't want to give Mooney any opportunity to get something cheap at the end of the half to give him any type of momentum going into halftime.
3rd and 14. McCowan drops back. McCowan, long pass down the field, and that ball is caught at the 31-yard line. It's 1st down, Harding.
Najee Jones, one-on-one to the high side. Gave Drew some time. As you see him drop back, he's watching him the whole time. He sees that one-on-one coverage, but watch how he goes up and high points the ball. Easily could have been knocked down, could have been intercepted, but the receiver made a choice to go up, high point that ball, come down with it for a huge gain here with 50 seconds left in the first half.
1st and 10, Harding at the Mooney 28-yard line off that long completion from Drew McCowan to Najee Jones. And McCowan drops back again, and McCowan's under a lot of pressure. He's going to go down back at the 40-yard line. That was Alec Del Senor coming in off the outside.
Tough thing for those left tackles right here. You know, we talk about the safeties. Safeties always have to keep their head on a swivel. Watch. Oh, this is the play before. No different than a safety. The tackles have to keep their head on a swivel. When you start sending that safety blitz, the tackle is looking in the box. He's watching that defensive end. He might be watching the outside linebacker because he knows the inside man is always going to be the threat. Outside man is secondary. Inside man is the threat. So when those when those cornerbacks start to come, tackles have to have their head on a swivel. Either the quarterback has to stop that count, acknowledge that blitzer, to have it picked up, move the running back over there, or that tackle has to see it, call it out, and know that he's got to get that kick step out there quick so he can get back there and take on that faster, quicker cornerback blitzing. That time they weren't able to identify it. He was able to get in there, hit our quarterback for a big loss, push him out of field goal range with 33 seconds left in the second half.
That brings up a 2nd down and 19. They're going to spot that ball at about the 37-yard line. Four receivers set for the Harding offense. McCowan drops back again. McCowan gets outside the pocket. McCowan's going to keep it. McCowan down the sideline. The first down outside the 15-yard line. Drew McCowan, big run on 2nd down and 19 for a 1st down, Harding.
You know, you see a lot of, I call it wiggle. You see a lot of wiggle coming out of Dallas Jet. Right there, you saw that long body of Drew. You saw those big strides. Watch how he just eats up yards as he goes down the sideline, able to get that 1st down and, most importantly, get out of bounds and preserve those timeouts.
Harding with 24 seconds of play and a half, and they are knocking on the door again under the leadership of Drew McCowan. 1st and 10 at the 16.
Obviously in Jake Doherty range, but I don't think Harding's thinking anything about 3. They're looking to punch in 7 here with 24 seconds. 2 timeouts left, plenty of time.
And McCowan throwing again. Tosses it up in the end zone. Was looking in there for, looks like Devin Boss, and a little bit overthrown. Brings up a 2nd down and 10 at the 16.
Yeah, a lot of pressure right up the middle, right in his face, but due to Drew's size, we talked about a sophomore standing at, what do they got him listed at here? 6'3". 6'3", able to throw over the top of that blitz that was coming to give his receiver an opportunity. Sailed out of bounds, 19 seconds, lived to play another down here.
2nd down and 10 at the Mooney 16-yard line. There's 19 seconds to play in the half. Harding's going to send 3 to the near side. And I think everybody moved but the center. That's going to back Harding up 5 yards.
Yeah, I hate to see those type of penalties in this situation late in the second half here. Want to be able to put some points on the board, like to get 7, but want to make sure you keep yourself in position for 3.
5-yard penalty brings up second down at 15. Balls at the 21.
Second down and 15. That penalty backs the Raiders up to the Mooney 21-yard line. Still 19 seconds to play. And McCowan drops back once again. McCowan with that jump ball in the corner, and that's a little bit far. Brings up a 3rd and 15 as we go down to 13 seconds.
You know, I don't mind that pass there. A lot of man coverage there. Took a shot with his receiver, tried to put it in a position where only his receiver could catch it. Going to give him another opportunity here on 3rd and 15. Still believe they're still within, yeah, you figure what, 21, 31, 38-yard field goal. Still within Jake Doherty range here. Give your offense the opportunity. One more shot at the end zone. If you can't get it, bring Jake out there. Have him tack 3 on, 20-0 going into halftime.
And McCowan drops back once again, and again McCowan under a big rush, and there's going to be a hold on that play. McCowan gets hammered as he throws the ball. Alec Del Senor was applying pressure, and he got dragged down, and that will certainly take the Raiders out of field goal position.
Well, that's going to give them a shot at the end zone then on 4th and 6, but lucky to come up and come back with the ball because Robert Hardy, I mean, he saw nothing but green in front of him. So had that ball, got to catch it with your hands, pop off the pads, but he had nothing but green in front of him. Lucky to be able to get this ball back with an opportunity for one last shot of a Hail Mary to the end zone.
And that penalty, being a spot foul thrown deep in the backfield, just added on to it. That backs the Raiders up all the way back to the Mooney 43-yard line. And it is 4th and forever with 5 seconds to play here in the half. Sorry, 3rd down, 3rd and 37. So the Raiders with 2 shots, they may only have time for one with 5 seconds. McCowan lets it fly down towards the end zone, and that ball is going to be picked off down there. Tackled about the 12-yard line, and that's going to end the half. Harding goes in at halftime with a 17-0 lead over the Mooney Cardinals. And unfortunately, the young man who made the interception got hit low and has not yet gotten up down there. That's number 14. That was Robert Hardy, who almost had the last one. Now he's up and heading back to the locker room. So with that, you will see the Harding Band here in a few moments, so hope you enjoy the halftime show. Eddie and I will be back shortly for the second half.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we present the 2022 Raider Marching Band. The band is under the direction of Reed Young and Heather Cerny. Our major ed instructors are Marissa Lucky and Gabby Jones. Flagline instructors are Celeste Harris and Lariah Coker. Percussion instructors are Brian Yager and Jordan Ringgold. The band is led onto the field by field commanders Arena Ramsey, Olivia Dunn, and head drummer Elise Hahn. The Raider Band is proud to present our 2022 show titled Unstoppable, as we feature a variety of hit songs that we know you'll enjoy. Our opening song takes us back to the year 1999 with the group Backstreet Boys. Here is Larger Than Life. Tonight, we pay tribute to the class of 2023 by featuring our 26 senior woodwind, brass, percussion, and majorette members. The Raider Band hopes the senior class has a great year as we perform the greatest show. To close our show tonight, the Harding Band turns to a song by the iconic rock band Queen. The soulful melodies and driving rock beat have made this song even more popular than it was when it first was released. Here is Don't Stop Me Now. The Raider Band would like to thank all of you for being a wonderful audience tonight. Now join us as we cheer on our Raider team. Ladies and gentlemen, the WGH Raider Marching Band!
Oh, well, I'm going back to work. Are we keeping everybody's names right here? Hey, please, it's Danny.
Welcome back, Raider Nation. We get ready to start the second half. Teams are on the field getting some warm-ups done as we prepare for the second half kickoff. Raiders taking a 17-0 lead into the halftime and coming back out for the third quarter. Hope you enjoyed that halftime show. Good luck to all those Raider marching band seniors you saw out there on the field. Last home game for them. They got 2 more to go at least.
Yeah, shout out to all the fall sports from golf to volleyball. Got a chance to run into Coach Penny and his wife prior to the game today. Want to give a big shout out to the cross country team. Wish them the best. Nothing like being a senior, Tom. It's one of the most fun times of your life, and it culminates in things like this. Senior nights, being able to celebrate with your friends. Just coming off homecoming, just a magical moment of a senior year. And just really, really wish the best for all these seniors here at Warren G. Harding High School.
Got another minute or so before the start of the second half. The Raiders will be kicking off to start the second half.
Yeah, you're going to see the defense come out. Saw, great explosion from that defense in the first half. Really put this Cardinal Mooney offense in some really bad long third downs. I don't think it was until late in the second quarter that we even saw third and single digits. Defense, whether it be penalty, whether it be sack, really put this defense, this Cardinal Mooney offense in just horrible positions to be chucking the ball downfield, just hoping for the best. And more importantly, the offense able to capitalize off of just the stellar defense that was played here in the first half by the Raiders.
And that defense was put to the test. Dallas Jet lost a helmet some point in the second quarter. He came out, did not go back in the first half. Defense stepped up. And Drew McCowan did a yeoman's job moving that offense along, keeping the ball. They didn't get in the end zone, but they hung on to the ball and gave Mooney no chances really to score. Mooney had one chance, but the defense stepped up and stopped him, and Drew took them down the field late in the first half, keep the ball out of Mooney's hands and preserve that 17-0 lead going into the locker room.
Drew got some time as a freshman this year as a sophomore. As Dallas got hurt early in the year, he was able to step in and fill that position pretty well, so he's used to being out there comfortable under center. But I think also important, Drew plays some defense. Even if he's not in there as the quarterback, he's in there, I believe, outside linebacker, and so he knows the speed of the game. He's watched the game. He's been a part of it, and I think that gives him a leg up as he comes in to fill in for the star Dallas Jet, because it's not new to him. He knows the speed of the game. He knows what to expect, and he's comfortable out there, and it shows as he goes under center.
And I think I saw number 10 down there loosening up, so perhaps we will see as he's down there throwing as we speak. So Dallas Jet is throwing. Maybe we'll see him back in. And there's the kick from Jake Doherty. That's going to be fielded way back around the 7-yard line. And there's an opening. That's Tyon Flowers again. Flowers gets it out to about the 34-yard line. Nice return for Tyon Flowers. And that is where Mooney will set up to start the second half. 1st and 10 at their own 34-yard line.
Defense looks to take over where it left off there in the first half. Look to see a lot coming out from that left and right end. Called their names a lot. Able to get a lot of pressure, whether it be from the ends or up the middle on O'Brien, forcing those errant throws, using that speed and that athleticism to beat those big, beefy linemen that the Cardinal Mooney offensive line has up front.
Ashton O'Brien brings it now. Looks like he's going to go under center. They had a lot of problems with the long snaps in the first half. And that handoff is to number 3, Jamar Howell. Howell gets, looks like maybe 3 out to about the 38-yard line. Excuse me.
And that's how the defense is going to have to continue to do it. You see them really just corralling around the ball carrier. You saw 7, 8, 9 black jerseys just all swarming to the ball there, making sure that there was no broken tackle. And if he wants to keep on pumping those legs, take a couple swipes at the ball. Let's get an early turnover.
So again, O'Brien stays under center. So now he's backing up. 2nd down and 7 at their own 37-yard line.
It's like a broken
and
play.
There's a broken play. He's looking for somebody to hand it off to. There was nobody there, and he's going to wind up just throwing that out of bounds.
That's an interesting flag coming from the far side, or the near side here. Didn't see a lot of action over there.
O'Brien turned to make a handoff, and there was nobody there.
Legal man downfield.
And because he threw that pass to get rid of it, those linemen got downfield expecting a run, and it's going to result in a 5-yard penalty against the Cardinals.
Yeah, I was almost willing to give O'Brien a lot of credit there for keeping his composure on that broken play, breaking outside of the tackles, finding that receiver downfield, just throwing it away to preserve the down. But unfortunately, those linemen got upfield trying to get to the second level and the safeties to make some plays. That's going to result in a loss of down as well as the penalty. Yeah, they didn't mark off the yards. I believe that is loss of down and the penalty.
They're signaling second down, so I think they keep the down.
Keep the down and took the penalty, okay.
Second down and 12 for Mooney. That penalty backs them up to the 32-yard line. Just under a minute gone here in the third quarter. And O'Brien steps back to pass once again. And again, O'Brien under a heavy rush. And he's going to go down way back at the 22-yard line.
Number 16, Nye Coleman, coming off the near end here. We talked about that speed. You know, he may be undersized, but what he lacks in weight, he makes up in quickness and agility, able to beat the best tackle there, their left tackle, around the corner to come up with a big play for the Raider defense.
3rd and 22 for the Cardinals.
Reminiscent of that first half, Tom. These 3rd and longs, 3rd and 16s, 3rd and 19s, 3rd and 21s.
And this time the handoff is up the middle. There's some room out there. That was, once again, Jamar Howell, but that is going to bring up a 4th down and long. He gets back almost to the original line of scrimmage, and it's going to actually not quite there. So 4th down and 12, and the Cardinals are going to be forced to punt, and they have not had a whole lot of success punting either. A couple bad snaps, punter's been forced to run, and the one kick he did get off.
That'll be interesting. They've had Dallas Jett back to return. We saw him warming up, but he is not back for the punt return.
Raylan Weaver is back, and finally, Weaver calls for their catch at the 35-yard line. So a decent punt that time. That was normally their wide receiver, Alec Del Senor, as the punter, and he gets one off that time. Nice punt that time. Raiders, 1st and 10 at their own 36-yard line on their first possession of the second half.
Now, we did see Dallas Jett warming up. I see Drew on the sideline here coming out on the field, but I believe I see Dallas Jett.
Out.
Yes, he is.
So Dallas Jett, we have not seen him since early in the second quarter, lost a helmet, was taken out of the game, and now Dallas Jett back in. And there's the handoff up the middle. That's Javonte Jones. Jones gets about 5 on 1st down.
Like to see Jones running through that first contact. A lot of arm tackles you see coming out there. You got to make them pay for that, as Jones did there for a nice 5-yard gain. Another one of those junior running backs that you'll see next year for the Raiders.
Jones remains lined up behind Dallas Jett on this 2nd down and 5 play. And Jones is going to get the call again, trying to get around that right end. Ball is loose, and it is covered down there by Raider. It looked like number 50 fell on that one.
Looked like that's Ellis, Devontae Ellis in the right spot, another junior. Running a little high there for the junior running back. Got to get behind those pads, running a little high, showing too much body to the defense there. They took advantage of it, getting their hands on the ball, putting it on the ground. Luckily, the Raiders were able to come up with it.
And it was enough for a 1st down, as that moves the ball out to the 49-yard line, and there is an injured Raider on the play. That looks like Devin Boss sitting down there. They're tending to Devin right now.
It's like we might have, yeah. Devin Boss, the senior in that defensive secondary. We talk about him on the offensive side, too, playing some wide receiver. Devin Boss, they have him listed at 5'8", but we've seen some of his exploits out there. Talk about how he plays above the rim. He's able to go up there and get it. Hopefully he can walk this off. We'll see him back later in the game.
And that brings up a first down and 10 for the Raiders at their own 49-yard line.
Want to keep it churning, keep the wheels going. Defense came out, did exactly what they were supposed to do to start the second half. Offense getting in motion here, moving the ball up the field, looking to put some points on the board, secure this win early.
There's the handoff up the middle. That's good for about 2 yards to the Mooney 49-yard line. Orion Dukes, the running back on that play.
Dukes, Jones, and Powell, three-headed monster in the backfield they have of these junior running backs. You know, Harding for the last several years have had a great stable of running backs. A lot of them getting time as a sophomore, so by the time they get up here as a junior under these lights, this is nothing new to them. And they're showing it now by having three running backs that Coach Arnold is very comfortable with putting the ball in their hands.
It's Raylan Weaver, Najee Jones. They split up to the top side of the formation. And Jet back to pass, and he's looking that way. Throws off his back foot. He's got Weaver out there. Couldn't quite get it to him. Jet under a little bit of pressure on that play. That's going to bring up a third down and 8.
Yeah, similar to what we've seen the Harding defense do to Mooney with O'Brien. That time, Dallas Jet with a lot of pressure in his face there. Dallas Jet not having the height that O'Brien does. Kind of got to take that, keep on flowing back, threw off that back foot, wasn't able to get his feet set the way he'd like to, throw in the air and pass there on an open receiver.
Third down and 8 for the Raiders. Lawrence, Jones, and Weaver, they are split up there to the left. And Mooney's coming again, and Jet keeps it. He's tripped up at the line of scrimmage, maybe falls ahead for 1. It's going to bring up a fourth down and 7, and we'll see Jake Doherty on to do the punting here.
Yeah, unfortunately, you got the drive stall in there. It looked like Dallas ran into one of his own players there, wasn't able to get out of the way. Going to bring that to about the 48 here. Obviously, the way this defense is playing, you want to put all your faith in them. Get Jake back there. Now, we've seen some struggles in the past here on the special teams with the punt. We'll see if they've been able to solve this here early in the second half.
Looks like Cameron Sweeney back deep to receive for the Cardinals. Nice high spiraling kick from Jake Doherty. That's fielded at the 15-yard line. Fair caught right there. And that's where Mooney's going to have the ball first and 10 at their own 16.
Mooney takes over. First and 10. Ball's at their own 16.
Defense is going to come out here, going to be asked to do it again. Mooney's going to start roughly around their own, looks like they're about their own 16-yard line. 17-0. Harding has controlled this game on both sides of the ball for the most part, but we've seen some opportunities. We've seen those wheel routes out of the backfield, whether it be alligator arms or just, lack of concentration to get upfield, but we've seen opportunities for Mooney. Harding really wants to get a stop here and get some more points on the board.
And that's Jamar Howell, the handoff. Howell brings it through the line of scrimmage all the way into Raider territory. He's brought down at about the 42-yard line.
Just as I was talking about, we saw some glimpses in the first half of Mooney being able to get a spark, but it's always been a player, and you can call out several different numbers that have popped up here for the Raiders to make those stops. That time, huge gain on first down, going to put it into Raider territory.
Jamar Howell in at running back for the Cardinals. We saw Aiden Page throughout the first half. Jamar Howell, number 3 in there with that big carry. And again, O'Brien sets up under center. Howell, the lone back. Howell gets the call again. And this time, maybe falls ahead for 2, gets up the 40-yard line. That's going to bring up a second down and 8. They tried the same play, and this time the Raiders bottled him up.
Manny Washington, number 54 for the Raiders. He's another one. He's a junior. They got him listed at 5'10", 195, able to beat his block up front, get into the backfield, and make that nice hit for a gain of 2 yards.
Nolan Radinsky, the wide receiver, coming down to this side. O'Brien staying under center, and there's the give to Howell once again. Again, Howell through the line of scrimmage, and Howell on the loose again, inside the 25, down to about the 23-yard line. It's 1st and 10 Mooney, and the Cardinals are on the move.
Howell, a junior, 5'11", 195, nice low center of gravity. You see him get behind his blockers here. He lets 36, the fullback, come over, pull, get that lead block, get him up to the second level. After that, it was just speed off to the races, but the Raiders able to stop him after the first down.
And the Raiders are going to use a timeout, try and slow this momentum down a little bit and talk things over. And now you start to see that Mooney team, that what we see from Mooney, the traditional Mooney, that power running game start to come in.
Yeah, we talk, we talk about the size, up front, and the ability that the Raiders have in the first half to be able to use that speed and quickness to beat those big linemen over there. You get to this point of the game, a lot of those guys are going both ways, and that wear starts to show up. And once those big linemen are able to get their hands on some of those quick defensive linemen, they're able to sustain their blocks, and as you've seen, get some of these runs upfield. We'll see what they do with the defense to try to maybe wide nine with those defensive ends, get them that running start, get them in some space, and also sending some of that blitz. I know they don't want to send the blitz because this defense does its best when it can send 4 and get pressure with 4. But at this point, if you see that starting to wane away, if you see that offensive line starting to take control, maybe start setting some of those blitzers from some weird angles, whether it's safeties, corners, or your outside linebackers. Get those offensive linemen, see if you can catch them without their head on a swivel. Get upfield, get into the backfield, and cause some disruption.
1st and 10 at the Raider 24-yard line. And that's Howell again. And Howell inside the 20, down about the 18-yard line. So good first down yardage for Jamar Howell. It's going to bring up a second down and looks like 4.
That Mooney line starting to impose its will on the front 4 of the defense. You're seeing these 4, 5, 6 yards, 15, 20-yard gains. That's all as a response to that offensive line starting to impose its will on the front 4 of the Raiders defense.
And this time O'Brien with a bootleg. He's got some room, looking for the corner of the end zone. And Ashton O'Brien is going to take it in from 18 yards out. Touchdown, Cardinal Mooney.
Ashton O'Brien, great play call. The run's been working. You saw those linebackers get sucked in as we watch the replay here. You see the fake to the outside. He bootlegs here to the near side, suck those linebackers in. We've seen a couple opportunities that O'Brien has had to use his legs. He's opted to throw. That time he tucks and runs for the touchdown for Mooney. Going to put him right back in this game after the extra point.
Nick Prejabone in for the extra point. That kick is up, and it is good. And it is now a 17-7 ball game with 4:48 to play in the third quarter.
Little less than 5 left in here, the third. Way too early for Harding to start playing the clock. Got to stick to what got you here. Using Dallas's legs, using his arm, finding those one-on-one matchups with his receivers, letting him go out there, high point some of those balls. But don't forget about the middle of the field. You hit those little 5, 10-yard crossing routes and let those receivers do the rest with their legs. That's going to sustain your offense. You've got 3 running backs back there. Keep them all fresh. Keep that defense on their heels. But it's going to be a combination of utilizing the pass game and utilizing the run game to be able to run this clock down and be able to come out of here with a win on senior night.
It's Javonte Jones, the deep man back, sending up at about his 3-yard line. There's Coleman Bay and Raylan Weaver are back there flanking him on either side. There's a high kick. That's going to be picked up about the 14-yard line. That's Jones. Jones gets through that first line. Jones all the way out almost to the 40-yard line, and that's going to give the Raiders pretty nice field position to start this drive.
Yeah, going to put them out there around midfield, 45-yard line or so. A lot of options for the offense here. We'll see what they elect to do as we talk about as this offense, as Dallas Jet goes this offense. We'll see if what they do here, if they're willing to turn around, put it in the running back's hands, or if they're going to put this drive on the shoulders of their quarterback, who's just came back into the game after being out the second half. Now pay attention. I think I see Dallas Jet at quarterback, and Drew McCown is the. Nope, I'm sorry. That's Nye Coleman, and it looks like they're going to take him out. Maybe an issue with an equipment issue, possibly.
Robert Williams checks in Nye Coleman's place. Dallas Jet back. I believe that's Ryan Dukes behind him. Dukes is going to get the call. Dukes up into that line of scrimmage, keeps those legs pumping, and Dukes gets 4 or 5 yards to start. Finally, the whistle blows. They're going to give him 5 on that. Actually, give him 6 on that out to the 45-yard line. That's going to bring up a 2nd down and 4.
I tell you, nothing you love more than watching that type of run and just after first contact and watching those legs continue to churn, continue to drive for those extra 2-3 yards.
2nd and 4 for the Raiders. Their own 45-yard line coming up on the 4-minute mark here in the third quarter. Raiders on top, 17-7. Mooney just got on the board on their last drive. Dallas Jet back in the game. Dallas Jet's going to keep. No, he's not. He gives it to Dukes, and Dukes gets stacked up in the line of scrimmage. There's no gain on that play. That'll bring up a 3rd down and 4.
Now you saw that give to the inside there. Defense is converging on the run. Really want to see them run some of those plays where he pulls that ball back and he gets out on that bootleg, similar to what you saw Ashton O'Brien do with the type of speed that Dallas Jet has. All it takes is for that outside linebacker to peek into that backfield for a half a second, and Dallas Jet is off to the races.
Jet's going to back over the middle. He was looking, I believe, for Chaz Coleman over there. That ball's a little bit overthrown. And that will bring up 4th down. And the Raiders look like they're going to send on the punting unit. Jake Doherty on to do the punt.
Chaz Coleman, another sophomore there. Saw him with the one-on-one, try to hit him with that quick slant over the middle. A little too hard, a little too high for the sophomore to come up with.
High snap. Doherty gets it in and gets off a decent punt. Despite that, it's going to take a Raider bounce, and Sweeney's going to pick it up, but he's going to get hit immediately inside his own 25-yard line. Nice job by Jake Doherty. Yeah. That averted a real disaster for the Raiders right there.
Yeah, great presence by Jake Doherty there, junior. I think he's been playing since his freshman year. That kind of experience comes into play there. High snap, rush was coming in. He didn't overreact to it, able to get himself some space, get a punt off, and keep this defense in a decent position here with Mooney starting at their own 25-yard line.
3:05 to play in the third. Mooney on the board with the touchdown run by quarterback Ashton O'Brien. O'Brien brings his offense back out on the field. And this time he drops back once again. And that's Tyon Flowers with the pitch out there. Flowers gets ahead for about 6 or 7 yards on 1st down.
That's a freshman in the backfield there. But as we talked about, that offensive line just imposing its will right now. You know, you're seeing these, 4 yards of carry is a first down.
And it looks like Mooney's going to want a timeout. A little confusion on that formation, and Mooney's going to call a timeout and talk it over. That's their first timeout of the half.
Now both teams here in the third quarter have burned one. So going into this 10-point game, 2:33 left in the third quarter, we'll see if those timeouts are going to cause them any problems later in the game. You know, as Mooney looks to creep closer here, whether it be a touchdown or a field goal. But watch the offensive line, watch the defensive line, start to see where you see that tug of war going, because as we're seeing right now, Mooney and that size they have up front, they are starting to impose their will on the front four. Let's see what the defense does to try to change that up. Whether it's, you know, some stunts, whether it's blitzes from different angles, you know, what have you. They've got to find a way to put a stop to this Mooney running attack.
And O'Brien back up under center for this 2nd down and 3 play. And that's Jamar Howell. Howell picks his way through. It looks like he's going to pick up a Mooney first down, gets it outside the 35-yard line. And that'll be enough to move the chains for the Cardinals. 1st and 10, Mooney, 36-yard line.
You know, you start to establish the run game. You know, I'm an old school football player. I think everything starts with the run, establishing that line of scrimmage. You know, I think that was a result of that last touchdown. You get that running game going, you start throwing those play actions, whether it opens up the play downfield for the pass or those bootlegs like we saw in the touchdown.
Jamar Howell once again. Howell breaks through the line. Howell up inside Raider territory, inside the Raider 40-yard line. And Jamar Howell is moving the Cardinals. Another big run for Jamar Howell.
Another big run. You see the fullback pull. Running back gets in behind him, picks his blocks out. He gets to that second level and just turns it on. And once again, the yards after contact.
And Howell's run moves the Cardinals down to the Raider 39-yard line. And Howell gets the call again. Howell in there moves the pile ahead. 5 yards on that play. Let's make it 4 yards. Call it 2nd down and 6 at the Raider 35-yard line.
Raider defense needs to dig in deep right now and discipline. Mooney controlling the line of scrimmage, using the run game, 4, 5, 6 yards of play, establishing that line of scrimmage. As you saw last time, the great play calling. Wait to see that fake go to the middle and the quarterback either come around the end or pop back on a bootleg and hit a pass deep. Looks like there was a false start.
And this time, that was Alec Del Senor. Looked like he jumped a little early. They've been awful close to that on a few plays, and that time it was a little too early, so that's going to back the Cardinals up 5.
Interesting the way he came off the line of scrimmage there. Looked like they were going to probably run some type of play action, try to get that inside guy, kind of get him mixed up in the middle of the defense to see if he could get lost. But interesting, just, you know, once you establish the run game, you know, it really, really opens the playbook, and that's what you're seeing Mooney do now.
Second down and 11. The penalty backs the Cardinals up to the 40-yard line. And O'Brien gets it out to Aiden Page. And Page with some room. Page with the first down. Gets it out of bounds around the 28-yard line. That's a 1st and 10. Cardinal Mooney.
No such thing as a free lunch. They start to let those linemen come in free. You know it's going to be a screen in the middle or the end there. In all honesty, that play could have been a lot worse, but the Raiders able to maintain some discipline there and hold that to a 10-yard gain.
And it is 1st and 10, Cardinal Mooney at the Raider 29-yard line. And Jamar Howell once again. Howell pounds his way inside the 25, down about the 24-yard line.
Yeah, another gain of 4 there. I think that's going to probably take us into the fourth quarter here as we wind down with less than 10 seconds left in the third quarter.
And it looks like that's what's going to happen. Mooney's letting his clock run down the third quarter. And that's the end of 3 with the score. The Raiders 17 and the Cardinals 7. And Youngstown Mooney is threatening.
So it comes down, 10-point game, 12 points left. You're going to see, 3-4 possessions at least, on both sides. Mooney definitely going to be is going to be in a position to have an opportunity to win this game. Raiders are going to have to score. Cannot play this fourth quarter to lose. Or excuse me, cannot play this fourth quarter, safe. You're going to have to go with what got you here. Dallas Jet, whether it's the run, whether it's the pass, whether it's some play action, getting them out on the edges, pressuring that defense, making them make decision. The clock is not going to be your friend right now. Each team is going to have at least 3-4 possessions. The Raiders are going to have to make a stop or going to have to get a turnover, and they're going to have to score a couple more points if they can't get those stops or turnovers.
Cardinal Mooney's going to open up this fourth quarter with a 2nd down and 5 at the Raider 24-yard line. And right now the momentum appears to have shifted to the Cardinal Mooney sideline. They have been moving the ball. They scored on their last drive, and they have moved this ball consistently on this drive. Raiders defense back out on the field. Ashton O'Brien brings his offense out. And again, O'Brien looks like he's going to stay under center. He's got Jamar Howell lined up behind him. Howell has been the second half workhorse for Cardinal Mooney. One lone receiver out to the left. And this time O'Brien keeps it. O'Brien looking for that corner. And O'Brien's going to get it outside around the 19-yard line. That might be enough for another Mooney first down. And the official is signaling that they're going to move the chains. And it is first down. Cardinal Mooney inside the Raider 20.
Yeah, plays like that are set up by that middle run. You got to protect the middle. They've been gashing you up the middle for 4, 5, 6, 15-yard plays, 15-yard gains. Defense starts looking in the middle, play action up the middle. He hits the outside, able to get that first down and move the chains.
And there's Howell. Howell gets that ahead for about 3, up to about the 16-yard line, maybe 2 to the 17. Make it 2nd down and 8 from the Raiders' 17-yard line.
Gain of 2, 2nd down and 8. Ball's at the Hardy, 17-yard line.
Yeah, this is where the DBs really got to stay on their game. Everybody's looking to make a play right now. You're getting gashed with the run. Everybody's thinking run. Eyes start going in the backfield. That's when deep passes get hit downfield. Got to maintain your discipline.
There's another handoff up the middle. That time it looked like number 39, Jeffrey Brenner, a 6-foot, 210-pound senior going in that line of scrimmage. Gets a couple there, gets it in about the 14-yard line. It's going to bring by 3rd down and 5.
Third and 5. A lot of options here for this Cardinal Mooney team. They've shown the ability to be able to run up the middle for first downs. They've shown the ability to get their quarterback out on the edge. We'll see how the defense attacks this.
And this time Brian drops back to pass. And little doubt about that. That's going to be pass interference on the Raiders.
As you see, the corner couldn't get his head turned around, wasn't sure where the ball was, probably made the play that he thought he needed to. That was 21. That was Devin Morgan on the coverage there. Another one of the sophomores back there in the secondary. Wasn't able to get his head turned around. Probably made the best play that he could at that time, trying to preserve that score. Unfortunately, that's going to be a first. That's going to take that 3rd down, and it's going to result in a first down here inside the Raider 10-yard line.
So after the pass interference call, Mooney with 1st and goal at the Raiders 7. And Jamar Howell back in the ball game, sets up behind Ashton O'Brien. And Howell gets the call, and Howell's going to take this one in. And Mooney gets a little bit closer.
Straight counter right. Gets behind that big line. I don't think he was touched until he reached the linebackers.
So Mooney an extra point away from this being a 3-point ball game.
On to attempt the extra point, number 7,
Nick Pregabon on for the extra point. Junior kicker for Mooney.
They're going to come after him.
And that kick is up, and it is good. and it is a 3-point ball game. The Raiders hanging on right now, 17-14, 10:24 to play. And now it's up to the Raiders to come down and put some more points on the board.
Hey, you got 14 unanswered here in the second half. I think the Raiders haven't scored since probably midway through the second quarter.
Actually, I think they scored
they get
got
the
that
three
at the end of the first quarter.
Yep.
Have not scored since the end of the first quarter.
So you've got, we talk about the halftime adjustments. Obviously, Mooney recognized something within that running game that has been their stalwart here in the second half. Just getting behind that big offensive line, letting them open up some holes for these running backs to just chip away 4, 5, 6, hitting them for some big gashes, 20. We saw the big 40-yard gain. This is where the Raiders got to get back to what they did in the first half. They got to use that speed, use that quickness, get these athletes, get them in space. Let them make moves. It doesn't take a 40-yard pass. You put one of these athletes in space, 5-yard pass, let their legs do the rest of the work.
Javonte Jones back, and good to see Devin Boss back in there. We saw him limp off the field a few plays ago. And this is going to be Jones inside his 5-yard line, bringing that out. Jones makes the first man miss. Jones out to the 35, 25. Jones almost out to the 30. Had that ball deep, gets the Raiders out to about the 29-yard line. They're going to mark him down at the 27, it looks like.
Looks like Jones a little shaken up on that play, limping off the field.
Jones favoring that right leg as he gets off the field, not able to put any weight on it. And he has been a workhorse for the Raiders.
Tom, no question, the momentum is swung at this point. It's not about the play you call, it's about the player who you put the ball in the hands of.
Ryan Dukes sets up a running back. He is lined up to the left of Dallas Jett. There are 3 receivers to the left. And Jett gets it outside to Devin Boss. Boss is hit immediately and hit hard. And that pass is incomplete. It is 2nd down and 10. Devin Boss takes a big hit on that play.
Took a big hit, read that play right. You saw the blitz coming in here from the near side, read the play correctly. Defense was just able to eat up some of that ground and get over there to make the play before Devin Boss could make the catch.
2nd down and 10. The Raiders at their own 27-yard line. Looks like Boss, Weaver, and Lawrence, they are bunched up over here on the left. Dallas Jett rolls out to the left. He's under a lot of pressure. Manages to get rid of it. And that ball is picked off at the 39-yard line. It's Mooney football. Jett tried to get rid of it. Didn't get it far enough outside. And that is a crucial turnover. Mooney with a first down in Raider territory. Down 3 points.
As you see, the right end comes blitzing in. Forced Dallas Jett to make an ill-advised throw. Nice footwork over on the sideline there by number 28. That was Dennis Clark. Got him listed as a freshman with a big play under the lights here on Friday night.
And now Mooney with the ball, 1st and 10 at the Raider 39-yard line. And that's the first turnover of the game. The ball's been on the ground a couple times, but teams have managed to recover their own fumbles. And now this one gets turned over with 10:05 to go. And it falls squarely on the shoulders of that Raider defense right now.
You know what's coming. They've been running the ball this whole second half, chipping away. Let's see what the Raiders can do to step up and make a stop.
And O'Brien in an empty backfield. He's back there by himself. They're going for the home run ball early over the middle. He had Alec Del Senor just overthrew him. Del Senor was wide open over the middle, but it's 2nd down and 10.
They're running those bunch packages like we used to see back in the day when you caught it 3 yards in a plume of smoke. They get lost there. Hard for the safeties to pick them up. Hard for those inside linebackers to pick them up. He runs a straight seam route right down the middle. 88 pattern we used to call it. Wide open, just just overthrown to the outstretched arms of his receiver.
So Raiders dodge a bullet on that play. Mooney coming out looking for the home run ball immediately after that turnover. And now O'Brien back up under center. And Mooney going back to that power game. And that's Aiden Page. Aiden Page down to the 31-yard line, make it 3rd down and short. 3rd and about 2.
Offensive linemen are getting to the second level, taking out those linebackers. That's why you're seeing some of these corners and safeties making the play but it's going to result in gains of 5, 6, 7 yards.
3rd and 2 at the Raider 31. Aiden Page remains in at running back. He's set up deep. And it is Aiden Page up the middle. He's close. They haven't signaled yet for a first down. Looks like it's going to be 3rd down and a very short one for the Cardinal Mooney Cardinals.
You see Mooney, they're willing. They want to line up mano-a-mano. They're stacking everybody in the middle. Usually you see the defense 9-10 in the box to try to stack that, to try to stop the run game. Mooney is perfectly fine stacking everybody inside, splitting one wide receiver out to the left, knowing they're going to have that one-on-one coverage out there if they need it. But they are perfectly fine with going mano-a-mano, 10-on-10 with Harding's 10.
And Mooney's going to burn their second timeout of the half. With 8:42 to play, it's 4th and, well, the scoreboard, is it? I guess it is 4th and 1. I thought it was 3rd. 4th and 1. So a big 4th down play for the Mooney offense. Big 4th down play for the Harding defense.
Well, the way Mooney's been running the ball, this is kind of a no-brainer that you're going to go for it here, the way they've been running the ball. If you're Harding, though, you got to keep that discipline. Don't give them a cheap one. Watch the hard count. But at the same time, Mooney's got to watch that as well. You try to go on 2, as we saw before. You take that chance of getting that procedure penalty, knocking this down to a 4th and 6 and putting them in a different position.
8:42 to go in the ball game. Raiders trying to preserve a 17-14 lead. It has been all Cardinal Mooney in the second half so far. Fourth and 1 at the Raider 30-yard line. Jamar Howell is the running back for this play. Howell has, once again, he has been the workhorse. And this time O'Brien sets up deep in the backfield. And Del Senor moves under center. The quarterback keeper moves that pile ahead. And Senor breaks through off the seamer. Del Senor scores. Sneaks in there in front of O'Brien to take the snap on the sneak and up through the line of scrimmage, 30 yards and a touchdown for Cardinal Mooney.
Yeah, a little trickery here. You see the quarterback waves to the sideline. They've got him stacked up there, but once again, he continues to move his legs, continues to churn, as we've seen those Harding running backs do. Here late in the fourth quarter, it pays off for a Mooney touchdown.
Aiden Markey on this time to try for the extra break. Bad snap, and they will not get that, so there's a little bit of a break for Harding. But Mooney has taken the lead 20-17, and the momentum is clearly all on the opposing sideline at this point.
Yeah, we'll see. We talked about timeouts being burned early, what that'll do. You know, Harding has seen how some of these special team snafus have came back to haunt him. That would have put this in a touchdown scoring lead. Right now, with a 3-point lead, that gives Harding the ability to get Jake Doherty on the field to be able to tie this one up later in the game.
And the offense just has not seemed to find the rhythm it had early in the game.
Well, it's up front. It's the front four, the front five. They're without a doubt, Mooney's front five has taken over. They have established the line of scrimmage, and that just opens up the playbook for a plethora of options for the offensive play callers over there. Whether it is the runs up the middle that are getting you 4 or 5, whether it's the bootlegs to the outside, or even, you know, he hasn't been able to connect, but some of those open receivers that's contributed to because everyone's looking in the backfield at this point.
Low line drive kick, and that's going to go into the end zone for a touchback.
So Tom,
Javonte Jones tried to corral that, but just a little bit over his outstretched fingers, and the Raiders 1st and 10 at their own 20.
Tom, I think you got to go back to the run game. Whether it's the three-headed monster that they have in their stable of running backs, or that's getting Dallas Jet out on the corner, or with those straight draws. You know, he's shown the ability to make some guys move, get those 4 to 5 yard gains. That's what you need right now. You don't even need to break one. Right now, you break one, you go up 4, but Mooney showed the ability to drive up the field. You want a 12-play drive right here. You want 4 or 5 yard gains, stay in bounds, eat away at that clock.
Javonte Jones is in at running back. And it's going to be Javonte Jones. Almost breaks it around that corner, but he's pulled down for a short gain of about 2 yards. It's 2nd down and 8, and Javonte Jones was not far away from breaking off a big one right there.
You can see they started out trying to establish that running game. Right now, I wouldn't get away with it. I wouldn't get away from it. I would try to get Dallas out in some space. Some play action, get him out on the edges, make the defense make a decision to come up or drop back. You let the senior take control of this game.
Jet has broken through the line of scrimmage, and it's Dallas Jet! Dallas Jet in the open field! Dallas Jet is in Mooney territory! Jet all the way down to the Mooney 25-yard line!
Run the ball. It's what's worked. Design, draw play, straight quarterback draw up the middle. Talked about Jet's ability to make people miss. You see it on this play. This is a straight draw. Watch him come back. He's got a lead block from his running back. Makes one guy miss there, and he's off to the races. Once he gets to that second level, it's difficult to catch him.
1st and 10 Raiders at the Mooney 25-yard line. And this time the handoff is to Javonte Jones. Jones up to the 20. A 5-yard pickup on that play makes it 2nd down and 5.
Exactly what you need. Work this clock down. You do not need to score right here. Work this clock down. Keep on chipping away 4 or 5 yards at a time. I want to see 3rd and 1. I want to see 2 3rd and 1s come up. Run that clock down. Take as much time as you possibly can off the clock. Get yourself 7 go up, or give yourself an opportunity to bring your kicker on to tie the game. But you don't want to leave Mooney with a lot of time on the clock.
Javonte Jones, he sets up the Dallas Jets right. And there's a Javonte Jones kind of got in front of the snap. That ball's on the ground, and it is Mooney football with 6:37 to play.
Great play by the Mooney defense there, just when you saw Harding showing some life. As you see on the replay there, looks like they were looking at that jet sweep left. Missed timing by the center snap, resulting in a turnover by the Raiders.
And the second turnover of the ball game, and again it goes to Mooney, and Mooney has the ball 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Interesting to see how this Raiders defense reacts. Huge deflating play right there. This is where it comes down to pride. You see Mooney's got everybody stacked in the box there.
And that's Jamar Howell once again. Howell breaks the tackle. Howell all the way out. Howell still on his feet, out to the 38-yard line.
Saw the Raiders ripping at the ball there, trying to get a turnover here inside their own territory. Weren't able to get it, resulted in another 2-3 yards after contact.
1st and 10 Mooney at their own 38-yard line. And now it's Mooney who's going to try to control this clock with 6:10 to play. Jamar Howell once again, and this time Howell is caught in the backfield. Howell breaks loose, They had him in the backfield, and he moves the pile ahead. Howell is still turning ahead inside Raider territory.
Difference between two halves, Tom. We talked in the first half, seeing those swarming black jerseys around the ball here. You know, he's 1, 2, 3. But just not seeing that swarming defense, and then it's just the power and determination of the running back, literally just moving the defense for another 12 yards after contact.
Jamar Howell gets the ball to the Raider 48-yard line, and it's another 1st and 10 for Cardinal Mooney, and the clock continues to tick. 5:15 to go in the ball game. Cardinal Mooney now on top, 20-17. And Brenner gets up into that line of scrimmage for a gain of 3 to the 45-yard line, brings up a 2nd down and 7.
Clock is starting to become an issue. You're under 5 minutes here left in the fourth. Raiders do have 2 timeouts.
Aiden Page is back in the backfield, a lone running back set up behind Ashton O'Brien. O'Brien waiting for the signal from the ref. They're letting that play clock run down. And it's Aiden Page. Page busted outside. He'll get ahead for a few. Gets about 3 more. Brings up a 2nd down, 3rd down rather. 3rd down and 4 at the Raider 42-yard line.
Big play here, 3rd and 4. Mooney's going to let this clock trickle down under 4 minutes.
Jamar Howell checks back in, and he has been hard, if not impossible, to stop so far in this second half.
Once again, Mooney, 10 guys in the box. They've got their wide receiver to the high side. Harding comfortable with the man-to-man coverage out there.
And it's Jamar Howell. Howell breaks it outside. Howell with some room. Pulled down at the inside the 35-yard line, but it is a 1st down, Cardinal Mooney.
Got to set the edge. As you watch the outside linebacker to the near side here, you see him dip inside. That opens up everything outside. That's a touchdown-saving tackle by Dallas Jett.
Howell gets the ball down to the Raider 33-yard line where it's 1st and 10, and we are approaching 3 minutes left in the ball game. The Raiders in desperate need of a stop right here if they want any chance to get back in this game. And this time O'Brien steps back. Oh, heaves it down. He's looking, and that ball is going to be picked off inside the 5-yard line. The Raiders have a lot of real estate to cover, but they do have the ball. 2 minutes, 43 seconds to go, and 2 timeouts.
You know, Ashton O'Brien been under a lot of pressure all night. He had plenty of time, could have set his feet, could have made a better decision. Probably one of the only ill-advised plays that I've seen out of the junior quarterback for Mooney tonight, but it's a costly one. Going to give the Raiders some life here with 2:43 left, 2 timeouts, deep in their own territory.
Dallas Jett with the interception, and now Dallas Jett will bring the offense out. They have 99 yards to go to get back in this ball game. There's 2:43 to play, 2 timeouts.
Well, we've seen the Raiders' ability. They've got the ability to score from anywhere on the field. Right now, Dallas Jett with that speed, able to get those, make a guy miss. He could go the distance. They got 3 or 4 other scat backs that can do the same thing. We'll see what the Raiders choose to do, pinned back deep in their own territory.
Jett's going to take the snap into his end zone. Jett's going to keep it, comes out, and he'll get maybe a yard. Just trying to give them a little bit of breathing space. He gets it out to about the 2-yard line. It's going to be 2nd down and 9.
Take advantage of the aggressiveness by the defense. Obviously, you see them stacking in there, looking for that run up the middle. It's been successful all night for the Raider defense. I look for Dallas to take one of those shotgun snaps, pressure the line, and possibly get a little pop pass over the middle to an open receiver.
2:10 to play. Second down and 9. The Raiders are on their own 2-yard line. Down 3 to the Cardinal Mooney Cardinals. Jet back to pass. Jet long down the sideline.
He's got it.
And he's got a completion outside the 40-yard line.
Oh, he called it incomplete.
Oh, they're going to call that one incomplete.
Looked like he had him down the sideline. Great concentration. Not sure if maybe he couldn't keep his feet in.
Looking for Najee Jones down that sideline. Jones looked like he had it.
Plenty of time. Offensive line did their job. Dallas Jet finding that one-on-one coverage. He saw he had a step on him, just a little bit underthrown, and just wasn't able to come down with it on the far sideline.
Third down and 9. Raiders on their own 2-yard line. 1:59 to play. Four receivers set. Mooney sends a blitz. That ball is picked off by Alec DeSignor, and he's going to take it in for the touchdown. And that should just about lock it up for Cardinal Mooney with 1:52 to play as they now go up 26-7. Jet under a lot of pressure on that, try to get rid of it. Unfortunately, nobody there but the Cardinal Mooney linebacker.
Yeah, as you see, they're going to bring a blitz from the high side here. Able to get one of those linebackers through. Dallas Jet did everything he could to avoid the safety, getting that pass off, unfortunately, right into the waiting arms of a Mooney defender for the pick six.
Harding with 17 quick points to open the ball game in the first quarter. And right now we're sitting at 26 straight unanswered points by Cardinal Mooney here in the second half.
Yeah, I think, where you saw the tide turn is, with the line. In the beginning of the game, first quarter, you really saw that front four, that quick, agile front four of the Harding defense really able to wreak havoc. It looks like he missed that.
And the extra point is no good. It is a 9-point Cardinal Mooney lead with 1:52 to play.
But we've seen this as the season has went on with just, stellar performances by the defense early on, being able to use their athleticism and quickness to beat some of these bigger offensive lines that they've been going against. But as that game wears down and they start to slow up a little bit, these big offensive linemen are able to get their hands onto onto that front four and to be able to control them, and it just changes the game. Mooney's obviously shown the ability to be able to just dominate up front with that running game, just chipping away at the defense, 4 or 5 yards, breaking some big ones. And then you see it on the other side here, throwing in a little blitz package there. A lot of pressure on Dallas Jet deep in their own territory. Just wasn't able to do much with it. Tried to get it off, and unfortunately right into the waiting arms of a Mooney defender.
And along the ground, trying to keep it away from those deep backs. And that ball is loose, and it is picked up. And again, it's Alec DeSignor on the fumble recovery. He has done it all in the last 2 or 3 minutes for Cardinal Mooney.
Yeah, just 2 different games that we saw here, Tom, from what we saw in the first quarter down to what we've seen here. Squib kick, they didn't want to take any chances getting into the hands of Dallas Jet and, some of these fast kick returners back there. They were comfortable with giving it to an upman. Unfortunately, wasn't able to handle it. Going to turn over on downs, give it back to Mooney. Harding has 2 timeouts, but at this point, it's kind of a formality.
My mistake, that's number 7, Kingston Powell on that fumble recovery. Give credit where credit's due to the young man. Minute 45 to play. Mooney with the ball back. 1st and 10 at the Raider 41-yard line.
Yeah, Tom, as the clock starts winding down, last home game of the season, last game for us here in WSCN, and as always, Just a big shout out to everybody involved, you know, from Frank Bozick to Fred Whitaker to all the students. Pleasure of mine to be standing next to the cameraman up here, Nathan James, son of one of our the heroes in Warren, one of our finest Warren City firefighter, Tyler James. It's a pleasure to be up here, pleasure to be with all them in this great production that they put on year after year.
And there is a late flag. Things are getting a little chippy down there. The frustration's starting to boil over a little bit.
You know, Tom, in the beginning of the year,
That's a personal foul on Mooney, actually.
You know, we questioned, we talked about, you know, was this a rebuilding year? You know, when we get up here, they give us one thing, you know, and they give us the lineups. And as we went through here, you know, you see sophomore. You know, a handful of seniors, and you know, we always said, you know, you leave it to the coaches to tell you if it's a rebuilding year or not. Obviously, every game they come out here to play, they come out to win. No moral victories, but with the experience that we've seen, I mean, we've talked about the Chaz Colemans, we've talked about Drew McCown, we've talked about Eris Coleman Bay, you know, we've talked about the 3 running backs that are all coming back as juniors. You know, excellent opportunity going forward for this team. You know, this year, right now, it hurts. You know, but to look at this lineup and to see the experience that these kids are getting, and to know they've been in every one of these games. They've had opportunity. The future looks bright for this team. It's just sticking together, you know, getting in the weight room, getting the conditioning, and remembering these kind of games here. You know, remembering what it felt like. You know, you've been out here as a sophomore, so when you get out here as a junior, you get out here for a senior, you know, everybody wants the lights. Everybody wants the lights. But unfortunately, sometimes these lights get hot, you know, and it's the experience that makes you be able to handle these hot lights when you get out here on Friday night in the historical Mollenkopf Stadium playing teams like Mooney, playing teams like Hudson and Maslin, McKinley. You know, there's a lot of pressure. This experience is going to pay off tenfold for them going forward.
Penalty backs up Mooney to the Raider 48-yard line, where it's going to be 3rd down and 17. Less than a minute to play. Jamar Howell remains in the backfield behind Ashton O'Brien. And Howell gets the ball. He gets up in the line of scrimmage. He'll get a couple up to the 45-yard line. It's going to be 4th down and about 14. Clock winding down. I believe, looks like Harding may have called a timeout here. Actually, it looks like an injury timeout. Jamar Howell, who's had a stellar second half, and hopefully this is nothing serious for the young man. He's had a tremendous ball game in the second half.
Yeah, I hate to see an injury any time of the game, but especially, you know, in what you'd call kind of the garbage time right now. Game well in hand. They're just trying to run the clock out. Both these teams with a couple games left. Obviously, you know, Mooney as well as Harding still looking to see what they can do to get into the playoffs. This is going to bode well for Mooney, obviously, with the win. Hate to see the young man go down. Hopefully it's something that he can just shake off and won't affect him going forward for the next game.
And while we have him on it, I'll echo your sentiments. It's a pleasure and a privilege to be able to come up here and do this and call these games. And again, it's a first-class production put together by this high school staff for WSCN. Again, Fred and Frank do a tremendous job with these kids and the technology they get to use. And this broadcast rivals any in the area, even some of the local TV stations for my money. But it's one of the favorite things that I get to do, and I'm just I feel honored to be able to do this and stand alongside you. It's always a great time. It's a pleasure to come up here, talk football, and call the games and watch these kids put it all out in the field. So, and just the season goes by quick. I can't believe another one's in the books for home anyway. Raiders travel to Youngstown next week to take on the Cheney Cowboys, and they'll close up their season in Austintown against the Fitch Falcons.
Yeah, you know, we come out here, we always talk about how we're sweating, it's hot. You know, you see the cramps on the field. You know, we come up here today, and I got a heated vest sitting back there waiting for me, and I got, you know, the stocking cap on, and but it's football. It's football season. It's football weather. And like you said, we're two old guys. We can't go out there and do it anymore. So the next best thing is being able to be up here and talk about it.
And there's a quick kick just to get rid of the ball, and that's going to go into the end zone. And the Raiders will have 40 seconds left to play on their own 20-yard line, down 9 points, 26-17.
Dilts ignores punt, rolls into the end zone. Harding takes over 1st and 10. Balls at their own 20-yard line.
Tom, if we are if we are lucky enough to be able to come back here next year and do this again, we're going to see some, a lot of improvements here to the right of us behind the old band shelter. We talk about the multi-million-dollar facility that's being built back there. It's something. It's something to walk into this stadium as it is right now, from the history of knowing, the legends that have come through here, and just the history of Mollenkopf Stadium. And, kudos to the Warren City School Board, the administration, and all those who are involved in this construction that's going to go over to this recreational center here. Those of us here, we've heard all the different things that are going in there. Things like esports and robotics. There's going to be a track, study tables, and just really taking this stadium to that next level of continuing to keep it in the conversations of just world-class stadiums, not only just around this state, but around the country.
"40 seconds left to go in the final home game of the 2022 season for the Harding Raiders. Dallas Jet back to pass. He has a completion out there at about the 24-yard line. That ball goes out of bounds. Finds Najee Jones over there in the flats. 2nd down and 6 coming up for the Raiders.
Yeah, Harding's burned all of its timeouts. Clock's only going to stop out of bounds in high school on a 1st down to move the chains here. 34 seconds. Going to show a little bit of heart of the team. See what they got left in them. See if they can put another 6, 7 on the board. Who knows? Maybe the Cleveland Browns defense shows up, and you never know.
Stranger things have happened.
Yeah.
Jet again. Finds Najee Jones on the near sideline this time, and that's enough for a 1st down with 28 seconds to play.
Najee Jones, another junior, talking about the youth of this team, one of Dallas Jet's favorite targets.
He's had a few connections with the front runner for the next year's quarterback position, Drew McGowan. So they have a connection going there. Hopefully that will continue. 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Jet back to pass once again. Finds Najee Jones once again. Jones out of bounds at the 40-yard line. A gain of 5. 2nd down and 5. 22 seconds remaining in the ball game.
Yeah, 3-man front here for the Mooney Cardinals. Satisfied with just giving up those 10-yarders, keep everything in front of them, let them go out of bounds, just run this clock off. I think both teams right now are just hoping to get out of here, no injuries, look towards week 8.
Raiders with 3 receivers bunched up here on the near side. Jet back to pass once again, and Jet is going to be sacked from behind, and that ball is loose once again. And I think they have not signaled. The Raiders have recovered. The official has kept the clock going. And that looks like that's going to do it as we tick down the final home game here at Mollenkopf. And a night that started out very promising really turned the other way in the second half as Mooney storms back in the second half. 26 unanswered points to defeat the Raiders, 26-17. The Raiders fall to 2-5 on 2-6 on the year, and Mooney improves to 4-4.
Yeah, they're coming into week 9 here. The Raiders going to go up to Youngstown next week, take on a stout Cheney team. No slouches in this schedule this year. The Raiders have played a pretty difficult schedule here, and like I said, the thing I take away from is I look at the youth on this team, then I look at the games, and I look at how they're in all of these games. It's just it comes down to those late quarters, and it looks like it's just a size issue right now. They've got a lot of young kids out there right now, getting that experience. Now it's just on the off season, putting on that bulk, getting that attitude set right to come out here and compete for a full 4 quarters. But a lot of great opportunity for the future here. You see a lot of young guys out here, looking composed while they're on the field. That's going to pay its dividends later in their junior and senior years.
And that's going to do it, not only for tonight, but for the 2022 broadcast season for football for WSCN. As always, it has been an absolute pleasure to be here, bring the action to you. We hope you've enjoyed it. We hope we've done justice to the ball games that you get to see. Tough night for senior night for these Raiders seniors. Not an easy thing to do to lose in your last game on your home field, but they still have 2 weeks left to go, and if things play out okay, they may still get some bonus football in week 11.
Yeah, they changed the setup a few years ago. I think it was only 8. Now it's 16 teams that go there. Coming into this week 8, I believe the Raiders were actually number 11 in their regional standings. Obviously, this loss isn't going to help them, but if they're able to pull off a win against Cheney, which I think has 6-7 wins going into this week, that could easily change things. And obviously, with an opportunity playing a high-powered team like Austintown Fitch, if they're able to pull off a couple of those wins, you could easily see this Raiders team sneaking into the playoffs.
We appreciate you sticking with us all season long. Again, hope you've enjoyed the broadcast, and again, it's been a pleasure, and Eddie, I look forward to next August. We hopefully do this again.
Absolutely, Tom. It's always a pleasure.
Have a great weekend, Raider Nation. Good luck to the Raiders the rest of the way, and we hope to see you again next year. Have a great weekend.
Good night, everybody.
You guys are really good announcers.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate it. Listen, to be honest, and I say this if he wasn't here, I just ride his coattails. He's the man.
And you get excited about the players, too.
Well, listen, him. I mean,
No, you're both. All right.
I'm the even kid. He gets me. I want to go out there and put a helmet on.
I know you do.
Listen, he's got me to where I told his dad, I said, listen, I'm just trying to get Drew out of your house.